United stand if you're here for the match reaction. The link's in the video description. If you're watching live, this is the Manchester United versus AC Milan match chat with Mark Goldbridge. We've got the team news in to the left. It's the last pre-season game of the summer, and it's amazing to think that this time next week, well, not this time next week, this time next week the Premier League will have started. This time next week, tomorrow, we'll be playing that massive game against Chelsea. Look, there's talk about Paul Pogba leaving. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the transfers. But that is the Manchester United starting 11. And remember, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself said that the team he plays against, AC Milan, is the team that, you know, he wants it to be one of his strongest. He basically hinted it would be his strongest team. Now, there's disappointments in there, of course. I do wonder why Juan Mata's starting. And I did say it when he got a new contract. That will stop Greenwood, Chong and Gomez starting games. And already we've seen it today in a game of this magnitude. So that's disappointing. But I think you can look at that team as you run through it. De Gea, Lindelof and Rojo centre-backs, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Matic, McTominay, Andreas Pereira, Mata, Rashford, Martial. You swap Rojo out for Maguire, and I think it's interesting that Rojo's playing because Lindelof is obviously shifting to the right-hand side of the centre-backs, which means Maguire comes in on the left-hand side. He could have played Smalling and Lindelof, but he's obviously thought, no, I am going to put Lindelof where I'm going to play him on the right-hand side, and Maguire will come in for Rojo. So that's going to make us have a very good back five. In the midfield, I'd kick Matic into touch and put Pogba there. I'd take Pereira out and put Bruno Fernandes there. And I'd take Mata out and I'd put Dybala there. And suddenly, that is a very, very good starting Manchester United 11. Of course, there are three big factors there. One, will Bruno Fernandes come in for Pereira? Two, will we get Dybala and get Mata out? And three, will Paul Pogba still be a Manchester United player? This time, I think next week he will, but in 2-3 weeks, when the Real Madrid transfer window is still open, will he still be a Manchester United player? He has a back spasm. That is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is saying. You've got to believe that. However, there are reports today that Paul Pogba is actually forcing a move out of Manchester United and has chosen not to play in this game because he's been on tour, he's done his bit for Manchester United and Adidas, and now he wants Manchester United to do his bidding and get him out of Manchester. Which, look, I've got to be honest with you, do I believe that Paul Pogba's not playing today because he's forcing a move? I don't actually. I don't. I think he has got a back spasm. Do I believe Paul Pogba's definitely going to be a Manchester United player in September? I don't know. I don't know because actually he said he wanted to leave in June. His agent also said in June that Manchester United know he wants to leave and we want him to leave. So what's changed? He's been on tour, he's played quite well, he's signed a few autographs and people suddenly think he's staying at Manchester United. I don't know whether he's going to stay, but I do feel that maybe the story is a little bit led by, you know, hungry journalists who want to make a story out of nothing. How confident am I that Bruno's still coming to Manchester United, says Georgina Doyle. I'm confident, but only on the fact that, look, watch the creativity die without Pogba this game, says Metal Music Reviews. I look at that midfield, it's not good enough to beat Everton. I'm sorry, I like McTominay. I think he's going to have an interesting season. I like Pereira. I don't like Matic. That is a weak midfield. And I call the Manchester United team a polo because around it, it's strong. You know, I mean, if I had my pen, I can probably do it. Let's do it. That's not what we want to do. No, I don't want to move that. It's messing around now. This is not what we want to do. We want this. It's not going to let me do it, people, which is annoying. Oh, I tell you, it right annoys when it does that. Anyway, there's a polo round there. The back four, right round the midfield. And then the middle is a big hole. And I think that's the problem with Manchester United. I will keep saying this because it's my opinion. And I know it's a lot of your opinions as well. We can get lost in the positivity and the positive vibes being put out there, but to neglect that midfield is criminal. And Herrera was our second best midfielder behind Paul Pogba. He's gone and he's not been replaced. I remember Rant saying, you know, losing Ander Herrera is not a big thing. There's better players that we can bring in. You've got to bring somebody in. He didn't say, let's lose Ander Herrera because we've got better players coming through. That's bullshit. Like, Ander Herrera, McTominay's not better than Herrera. Fred's not better than Herrera. And Pereira's not better than Herrera. And Matic certainly isn't. Herrera needed replacing with a midfielder. And I'm worried, a little bit worried this season, that we're going to bring Dybala in. And everyone's going to go, wow, what a signing. Shut up, Arsenal. But I'm going to be there going, But where, you know, you can buy all the superstars you want, but if you don't invest in the midfield, we're going to be in trouble. So I look at this game today and I think, do I think Manchester United will be exposed without Pogba? I think it will be worse without Pogba, but I don't actually think AC Milan are that good. I don't think their fitness levels are as good as ours, and Italian football is slower than the Premier League. So I do think that we'll be fine today, but I don't think that midfield is anywhere near good enough. Hate to say it, but Dybala is Pogba's replacement, says Glenn. I hate to say it, Glenn, he's not. Thanks for the contribution, but Dybala is not Pogba's replacement. Dybala is not a midfielder. He's not a box-to-box midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder. He's a false 9, play off the right, number 10. He's not. Don't think Dybala's in the midfield. And certainly don't think that Dybala and Bruno Fernandes are too similar. You don't watch either player if you think that. Dybala cannot play in the midfield. Bruno Fernandes can. Bruno Fernandes is not a false 9 or a winger or anything like that. He's an attacking midfielder, box-to-box midfielder. He's not really a sitting midfielder, but Dybala's not a midfielder. Levi Pegler says, I think Pogba will stay because Zidane looks like he's getting the sack and talks of Mourinho returning to Madrid. Why is Zidane getting the sack? I don't know. I've heard a few people talking about that, and I've got no idea what it's all about. Thanks for the contribution, Vishnu Rayan. Bruno will not go to Real Madrid. Look, there's reports of Bruno Fernandes to Spurs. There's reports of Bruno Fernandes to Real Madrid. All I will say about that is, you don't want to look an idiot when they do sign and I say they're not going to go there. But all I've said all summer is Manchester United have spent a long time, a very long time, looking to bring Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United. That is a fact. But they've been haggling. They haggled, and people. There are some people messaging me saying, you look an idiot, Mark, because we were never in for Bruno Fernandes. Well, you know, believe what you want to believe. It's not my job to tell you what to believe. But factually, Wan-Bissaka took ages to do. Harry Maguire, factually, has taken ages to do. Bruno Fernandes is exactly the same. United don't want to pay a certain fee for him, so they're haggling, and they could lose out if somebody swoops in. And maybe Real Madrid will do that, but it won't be because we're not in for him. It's because of the people we've got doing our business. Amster says, Donut United, been matching since LVG pre-season. Maybe you mean watching. And Hooray says, do you think that the signing of Dybala would mean there's no Sancho next summer? Would you rather get Dybala this summer or Sancho next summer? I mean, look, on that, very simplistically, I would say I'd rather get Sancho over Dybala, but you've got to add into the fact, would you rather keep Lukaku to wait for Sancho, or would you rather get rid of Lukaku for Dybala? Because for me, I think getting rid of Lukaku looks like a very, very good deal for Manchester United. Would you take Bruno over Dybala? Also, what's your opinion about Mandzukic situation, says Heya. I would take Bruno over Dybala because he's a midfielder and we need midfielders. Mandzukic, I'm not a big fan of his, but I will give him, you know, time and not time. I'll give him my support like we all should if he comes to United, but I don't really think that bringing a player like that helps us. Glenn Oakley says that Zidane is actually already at war with Real Madrid directors, which is why he might get the sack. But look, I always said about Zidane, to get him to come to Manchester United, to get Zidane to go back to Real Madrid, they had to have said, we're gonna get you these players. And I think one of the players he was told he was going to get was Paul Pogba. And I think if Zidane sat there now being told we can't get you Pogba, he's probably saying, you're a bunch of liars. You're a bunch of liars. I said I would come back to this job if you got me that sort of a player. You've not got them. So, you know, you've lied to me. So maybe that's what that's all about. Fernandes is not in Manchester United's radar. Dybala and Mandzukic are only I don't even know what. You've got to get your sentence constructed well. I can start it, but I can't finish for you. What happened with the Zeraj talk, says the veteran trainer 88. I don't know, mate. And mate, have you been watching the Ashes, says Shotta Barnes? I have watched a little bit. It was quite close. Oh, good comment from Ryan Manicum. We are very close to 520,000 subscribers. I've just noticed in the top right-hand corner. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, bottom right-hand corner, subscribe to the channel, and we're probably going to get 520,000 subscribers in the next few seconds. It could have been happening as I spoke. But yeah, if you are new to the United Stand, you need to subscribe anyway. Bottom right-hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got transfer dailies. We go live if there's any big news. We've got fan cams. We're doing a vlog behind the scenes. Flex and Josh they've got press access, so they'll be in and around the back entrance. Manchester United's game today. So do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Kickoff is in 25 minutes, so we've not got too long to rate. And please do smash a like on the video. Redstone says, what's your opinion on Lukaku's video? Well, Lukaku put a video out yesterday of all the stats on sprinting, of where he was the top. But it ridiculed people like Luke Shaw and Matic because they were down near the bottom. Apparently, Manchester United were not very happy about this, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't very happy about it. I mean, ultimately, whether you're happy about it or not, is it professional of a player who's not kicked a ball in pre-season and openly wants to leave to be leaking information about his teammates? I think it's unprofessional. I don't like Lukaku. I haven't liked Lukaku for a long time. I just haven't found him a very likeable person at Manchester United for over a year. I think he came back from the World Cup too heavy, i.e. he'd bulked up too much. In November he said he'd bulked up too much, which we could all see, and yet in April he was still the same size. I think he's lazy. I think he's better than he thinks. I think he thinks he's better than he is, and I think he thinks he's leaving Manchester United to go to bigger things, and we're the loser. But we want rid of him, and fair play that Juventus are going to sign him and he wants to go there. Brilliant, it's a good move for him. But I don't like Lukaku, so sod off, mate. And you've exposed yourself as the egotistical, up your own arse striker that you appeared to be in the last few months. And I'll keep saying what I said when we signed him because I'm very consistent. I'm not the one of the people who said that it reminds him of the old Ronaldo. I'm not idiotic in the way I look at players. I looked at Lukaku when we signed him. I said I'll back him, but he's got no first touch and he's a flat track bully. And that's been proved again over the last 2 years. So I don't think he suits Manchester United, and I really, really want him gone because I tell you what, if the deal falls through, where's he going to go? I think he's burnt more bridges at Manchester United than Paul Pogba has. So he's got to go. Welcome to Joe Daniel, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Yes, remember you can join the United Stand Members Club by clicking the join button if it's available in your country. You get a little badge next to your name in the live comments. You get access to our emojis as well. So you're very welcome for joining the United Stand Members Club. Dipanshu Kumar says, Jesse, no Dybala, what's the latest with Bruno and Savic and Bruno and Dybala? Look, if Pogba left, we'd have to move very quickly to get Milinkovic-Savic, and we'd have to get Bruno Fernandes as well. Jimmy Marseille says, Mark, please take a look and retweet my thread on Twitter at the Raging Red D1. I can't do it at the moment because I'm actually live at the moment, mate, and I haven't got anybody working with me at the moment, so I'll try and remember to do that in a bit. Joe and Daniel, who's just joined as a new member and has the little badge next to him, you see it jumps out of my eyes easier, says, Mark, would you be okay with losing Bruno to Spurs so that Eriksen goes to Real and we get to keep Pogba? No, not really, because that's not progression, is it? That's the weak man's interpretation or the weak woman's interpretation. That's like, my wife wants to leave me for another man, but the other man has now found another woman, so my wife who wants to leave is going to stay. I don't want that. I want players to stay because they want to be here. And also, even if Pogba did stay, we're meant to be improving from last season. We know Pogba's a good player, but we know Pogba gets swamped on his own in that midfield. We needed to bring quality in to work with him. And Alan Marjorie Banks, who's another member, says, I worry if we don't add to our poor midfield that it could turn into a long season as we won't be able to dominate other teams with our current players. I'm worried about next season if we don't improve the midfield, Alan, and I totally agree with you. Okay, Joy and Daniel, we did that one. Let me go back then. I just want to make sure I'm covering these. Metal Music Reviews says, Lukaku suited what Mourinho was looking for in play style, but even then he failed. Look, Lukaku is a 20 to 30 goals a season striker. I'm not going to say he's a total waste of time because he can score goals. Of course he can, but he's not what Manchester United need, and I think we need to get rid of him. Welcome, says Sadiq Rahman, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. We've hit 520,000 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Thanks everybody who has subscribed. Please do, bottom right hand corner. And remember, the United Stand 500,000 subscriber first ever get together live Q&A show is on Thursday night. It's in London, and we still have got tickets. I've not put the link in the video description of this, but I will have it in my match reaction afterwards. So if you can get yourself down there, it's going to be a really good evening. Harold Holsversvold says, Bruno and Dybala in equals United transfer window winner. You know what? I'll even be honest and say there that even if we do get Dybala and Bruno Fernandes to add to Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and James, I still think we haven't brought enough midfielders. I think we needed 2 midfielders in, but it would be a good window. The problem is, are we going to keep hold of Paul Pogba? And that's the question that a lot of people are asking at the moment. I don't believe, for those who are joining us a little bit late, I don't believe that these stories that Pogba's missing the game to force a move are true. But I also am not 100% convinced he's going to stay anyway. And I don't see what's changed since June, where he said he wanted to leave. But hopefully we can keep him, because it's too late to lose him. George Ramos says, Mark, I think it's a disgrace how people are treating Lukaku like crap, including yourself. You only think of had he was... Well, I think you're too angry to get your second bit out. You only think of had he was for 1 year, but you're just not discrediting his records, including other fans. Disgrace. I don't understand what your second part is trying to say there, George. I understand your first bit where you're saying I and other fans are disrespectful to Lukaku. A minute ago, I just said Lukaku's not useless. He is a 20 to 30 goal a season striker, and you can't knock somebody like that. But would I sell him tomorrow to Cleethorpes Town for 50 quid? Yes, I would, because his contribution in a team that wants to go into the top four he's not a top four striker. Quite pure and simple every time, lightning seeds. He's not a top four striker. He hasn't got the build-up play, and he hasn't got the clinical finishing against the top sides. So for me, that's why I'd get rid of him. I'm not saying he's useless. I'm not saying he can't score 20 to 30 goals for Juventus, because he probably can. But he ain't a top four striker, and that's been proven. When are we getting spider legs emoji for Wan, says Sean Atwood. We are going to get one, and it will be coming through very soon. Zed Jamie, cheers, pal. He says, congratulations on 520,000 subscribers. If we don't get a midfielder or two, we're dead, says Joshua Chinra. Look, as we approach this game against AC Milan are not a very good football team, by the way. They're not. They're not a powerhouse of Italian football. They're not up there with Napoli and Juventus. They're not a very good side. They've been on a rebuild for ages. They're a former very good side. And I think this United team today, even though I don't think it's particularly strong in the midfield, will still win this game, because AC Milan are not that good. Add into the fact that AC Milan are about a week to 2 weeks behind us on their fitness levels. I don't think they've won a game in pre-season. I think they've drawn one and lost two. I'm not concerned about United getting a result today. In many ways, I wish AC Milan were a better team. I wish we were playing maybe Spurs today. Or, well, we wouldn't play an English team a week before. But I wish we were playing maybe a Juventus or a better side, because I think if that Manchester United midfield does well today, people will say we don't need midfielders. But over a 38-game season against, I think that midfield will come up unstuck against Leicester. I think it will come unstuck against Everton and Wolves. I don't think that midfield three is. I mean, Bournemouth might do better against it. I think it's a mid-table Premier League midfield three. You add Pogba in there, and it becomes a team that can finish 5th or 6th again. That midfield is weak. I'm not saying the players are bad, because I don't look at Everton's midfield and go, you're shit, you're shit, you're shit. You're just an Everton midfield. I think people get lost in that. I'm not saying Pereira, McTominay and Matic are terrible players. What I'm saying is they're not good enough for where we want to be. We want to be in the top 4. That's not a top 4 midfield. It's an ageing, hopeful midfield. And even with Pogba in there, he still hasn't got the quality to get top 4. So I hope it does. In a way, I hope it does get exposed today, because it might frighten the club to do some business. But I don't think they will. I think they'll play well today. Lo Celso is 1-5 to go to Spurs. They can't sign both, says Joel Young. I mean, look, we're talking about Spurs and Bruno Fernandes there. I always felt that United would get Bruno Fernandes, and I always felt that Spurs were going to get Lo Celso. So let's wait and see. I mean, at the end of the day, if we ruin the Bruno Fernandes deal, we'll have to go and get Lo Celso. Just get somebody at this late stage. Rob Riley, Mark, do you know how reliable journalist Nico Skirra is? He's saying that Bruno Fernandes to United is a done deal to go ahead after tomorrow's game. Nico Skirra, I don't personally think he's that reliable. He's spoken about a lot of things throughout the summer, but a lot of them might end up being true. As I said yesterday, David Amiol, who does work with Dean Marzio, he did a podcast and he said that deal for Bruno Fernandes will happen after Sunday. So look, every time I think about it, it gets me very excited. It gets me very excited indeed. Bruno Fernandes to me is fundamental to our season. I think if we just sign Dybala next week and that's it, I think we'll finish 4th, 5th. If we sign Bruno Fernandes and keep Pogba, I think we could fight for 3rd, which is massive progress for us from where we were. So we need a CDM, some steel, someone like Partey, says Anshul Patak. I mean, it's a shame about Thomas Partey. It's just never developed into anything. I mean, You know, he was flirting. His agent was there sort of mentioning he's got the £43 million release clause. Has he got his new contract at Atletico Madrid? Not yet. Has he been targeted by anybody? Not yet. I think he would have been a good signing for Manchester United. There is rumours that I'm just checking my phone actually while we're talking. There is rumours that Harry Maguire has passed his medical, which is always going to happen, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know, you'd expect Harry Maguire to pass his medical and join Manchester United. So I don't know when they're going to announce that deal, by the way, but I think it will be quite soon. So good signing for Manchester United, that is. And then obviously we move into, we've got 5 days left of this transfer window. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how it goes, isn't it? Because I think that, look, well, this is an important game today, but it's starting to take shape. I mean, if you look at that team on the left, that's the starting lineup. You've got De Gea, Lindelof and Rojo. We know Maguire will come in for that. Then you've got Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. I know people have doubts about Luke Shaw, but to me, honestly, if you'd said we were going to start the season with a back four that was going to have Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof and Shaw and De Gea, I would have said, happy days, shut the door. I'm happy. Let's have a biscuit. Brilliant. Into the midfield, if you had said Matic, McTominay and Pereira were going to be our midfield, I'd have cried. I'd have gone, what? And then up front, Mata, Rashford and Martial, I'd have gone, oh. Still big question marks about Martial and Rashford, and Mata shouldn't be here. But, you know, you build from the back maybe. You build from the back. We will concede less goals next season. Harry Maguire will be a threat. But I just think it's a missed opportunity if we don't go and get a Bruno Fernandes. Metal Music Review says Dybala, Pogba are similar. It's one thing tearing apart at Juventus in Serie A. EPL is hard. That's why Pogba hasn't shown quality. Dybala the same. I disagree. I think Pogba and Dybala can play in the same team, especially if you put Mata out and you put Dybala there. He can play there. It's about fluidity. It's about changing of position. And I don't think United went into this transfer window wanting Dybala, but I think somebody said, we want Lukaku. Do you want Dybala? And I think that's probably what happened. What worries me is because I can just see Scott McTominay on the telly there. I said this before, and I'm not dissing the lad. I'm still a bit unconvinced about how good he is. I think part of that is, I think he's going to have a good season. I like his effort levels. I think, you know, he's got his best, you know, he does put a lot of effort in, which some players don't. But I think we're being sold something here that's not actually fair. Like, McTominay's on everything. He's on the Pro Evolution Soccer cover. He's on every bloody interview. They're constantly tweeting and Instagramming about him. And effectively, how many games did he play last season? Did he play 10? Did he play brilliant in all of them? Is he one of the best young midfielders in Europe? No, he's not. I think we're being sold a bit of a dummy in McTominay. And I hope it turns out to be justified. But I think it worries me that we're like being kidded. Oh, we got McSauce, we got McMayo. Maybe he can be one of the world's best midfielders, and I really hope he can be. But I think we're having it rammed down our throat, and I wonder why we're having it rammed down our throat. Is it because we're not signing the two midfielders we needed to sign, so let's pretend that the midfield that we've got is good enough? And it does worry me a little bit, to be honest with you. And to be honest, it's unfair on him, because it irritates me every time I see him on an interview or every time I see him on another post, because I'm like, you know, for what reason are we to believe that he's one of the best midfielders we've got? He's got to go out and deliver it over a whole season first. Then we can do it. The club are acting like he's had 3 seasons at United where he's been ever present and been one of our best players. That hasn't happened yet. Andrew Ross, but maybe that's just me getting a little bit tetchy about we need to bring Bruno Fernandes in. Andrew Rossi, Mark, do you think Fernandes to Spurs is out there to force the deal to United? It could be. It could be. A lot of people feel that Spurs aren't in for him. A lot of people feel that Spurs will find Lo Celso. A lot of people are saying Bruno's coming to Spurs. Big Zed says, Rojo starting, thoughts, Mark? I actually think Rojo's starting for a very simple reason. He could have played Smalling, and I think Smalling is the backup centre-back. He could have played Swansea, and I wish he had. But I think what he's doing is he's putting Lindelof to the right side of the centre-backs, and then he needs someone to play on the left side of centre-back tonight, because Maguire's going to play there. But Smalling, Jones, we don't want Jones to play. and Twansibi, they're more right-sided centre-backs themselves. So I think it's a tactical thing. I think he's playing Lindelof in the position he wants him to play in to form a partnership with Wan-Bissaka. And I think he's putting Rowe in there to say, look, that position's Harry Maguire's. I'm going to play my left-sided centre-back there. And yeah, I agree with you, Lord Martial. McTominay is way, way better than Matic. But Andrew Ellis says McTominay is on the level of Tom Cleverley. Hard worker, got the best interests of the club at heart, but is he that good? I mean, Cleverley was okay. Bruno, I mean, people say McTominay's like bloody Fletcher. I disagree. He's got to go and prove it. You can have all the pictures, everything. He's got to go and prove it. And then I've just seen Jesse Lingard there. I mean, it's quite significant that Jesse Lingard isn't starting. I don't know whether he's got an injury. Is he on the bench? Because I've just seen him in his suit. Let's have a look at that, actually. In fact, it'd be probably quicker for me to just do it on my phone. But just while I'm doing that, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Bottom right-hand corner. So please subscribe if you're new. But I just want to check something here and see if we've actually named a subs bench. Which I don't think we have. Oh, we have. And he is on the bench. So you've got Romero, Grant, Dalot, Jones, Smalling, Twansibi, Young, Fred, Gomez, Lingard, James, Chong and Greenwood. So, yeah, pretty much the people who were on tour, wasn't it, really? Okay, so we got Blake the Third. I think they gave McTominay a lot of interviews because he is quite articulate. He certainly is. He certainly is a well-spoken lad. And I don't want it to come across that I don't rate him. I want him to be good, but I think the club are ramming him down our throat because they know that the midfield's weak. Attacks win games, defence win titles. We now have one of the best in the league. Feel we need a new midfielder. McTominay plus Pereira are great prospects. And I think that's a very good comment from Emos U. I like McTominay and I like Pereira, but they should be bench players. They should be players that come in, give some youthful potential off the bench. You need quality in your starting lineup. Ulray, main thing, team missing at the moment, on-field accountability. There isn't a couple of players who dominate the squad mentally, so others play par or below. I mean, that just reminds me, actually, thanks for that contribution, but David De Gea captain tonight. We're all happy with that, I think. David De Gea captain. I want him to be captain of Manchester United. I think he's the best choice from not many other good choices out there, so I'm very, very happy that David De Gea is the captain today. And I would hope that, in fairness to Manchester United, they haven't appointed a captain yet for Manchester United. Sorry, they haven't given the new contract to De Gea yet. And I expected us to do that. If we do it in the final week, I'm going to really crap myself because that makes me think we're not going to make any signings. So hopefully with De Gea, they're going to wait till August for the transfer window to close. And we can really celebrate it in a proper way. That's what I'm hoping with De Gea. I mean, I think it's very obvious that De Gea will sign a new contract at Manchester United, of course. And I think it's obviously a very positive thing. But I would give him the captaincy. Not too sure what you lot think, but I would give him the captaincy every day of the week. Because I think he's been a fantastic servant to our club. He's got a lot of experience. And I think he's a proper player for us. So, yeah, looking forward to, hopefully, De Gea holding on to that captain's armband. I don't think you can give it to Pogba. Welcome to Ben Hickman, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And I want De Gea to be captain, says Carito Janga. Bruno to Spurs. Yeah, we're bored of that, Vinny. We're bored of that. We've got a match to watch. And to be honest with you, whatever happens with Bruno Fernandes, I've said I'll sink with the ship if we don't sign him. But it won't happen before Monday anyway because he's playing in a big game for Sporting Lisbon tomorrow against Benfica. So, yeah, that's going to happen. I agree with Peter Edder. Mata is too slow. I don't know why Mata plays games for United. I really don't. I thought he had a terrible season last season. You've got youth in abundance. You've got people like Chong and Gomez and Greenwood who all showed moments of brilliance on the tour. They're exuberant. They're fast. They're exciting. One of those three should be playing ahead of Mata. But when Mata got a new contract, I did say he's going to be a blocker of those players coming through. And lo and behold, he has been. And he is today. One of those players should be starting for me. But maybe Mata staying was fundamental in keeping De Gea here. I don't know. But look, there we go. Smutty says the Mallorca ship. Well, there was a ship in the background when I was doing my streams from Mallorca, and I identified it as ship Bruno Fernandes. I've got to be honest, it disappeared on the last couple of days. Maybe he was off on his way to Manchester. Maybe it sunk. It was windy. I don't know. We're going to find out next week. Brad McSvenny says, Bruno to Real rumours. Sky are reporting it, by the way. Love this channel. Get excited every time you're streaming. Favourite channel. Brad, I get excited too. I love the interaction we have. So thanks everybody who's watching. Please do smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 2,000 before kickoff. We're only 6 minutes away from kickoff. I think it's going to be a nice, enjoyable Saturday afternoon stream. Someone wants to keep me up to date with the Forest score, by the way. I'm joking, but I think they are kicking off at R5 as well against West Brom. MUTV is so biased, says Young Camp. The trouble with MUTV is when you start deleting or cutting off fans who want to express their frustration, what's that all about? I mean, you just become a dictatorship. Everything's rosy. We haven't shit the bed. It's clean sheets, but I can see you have. It smells. No, we haven't. Get into bed. It's lovely and fresh. MUTV is what it is. I like MUTV. There's some very good content on there, but it's not fan opinion. It's what they want you to believe. It's what they're pushing. What you want. They're pushing positivity, and that's absolutely fine. But that's what MUTV is. It's like, oh, look at this analysis. Oh, look at how we're moving the ball. La la la. But they're not going to go, but yeah, we're still going to finish 7th with that team. They're like, oh, look at the triangles. Look at the pressing. This, that, and the other. And we can all see that. You know, the way we're playing under Ollie is totally different to what it was under Mourinho. But if the players aren't good enough, you're still going to struggle. So, yeah, MUTV is very, very positive. That's what it's all about. Fernandes isn't the only quality centre midfielder in the world, says Sam Rabbitshaw. That's not breaking news, Sam. There's plenty of better midfielders than Bruno Fernandes, but he's the perfect midfielder available at this time for Manchester United, who ticks every single box. As I said, if Spurs want Bruno Fernandes and Lo Celso wants to come to United, I'll take Lo Celso. I prefer Bruno Fernandes, but I'll take Lo Celso. At this late stage, we need to bring quality midfielders to Manchester United. We cannot go into the season with the midfield that we've got. We will fail. If it is true Bruno is joining after tomorrow's game, why would we risk injury? Also, have you seen Pogba's Snapchat? Ned Muckerman, I haven't seen Pogba's Snapchat, and I think a lot of people are going to want to know what he said in his Snapchat. So please let us know, and I'll shout it out, because I don't have Snapchat. And welcome to Gavin Ray, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Luis March. I mean, just going back, that's a very good point. If Bruno Fernandes is signing for United, why would you wait till after a game where he could get injured? It's a good point. But then there's a logical answer, because he's not signed for United. He's not signed for Spurs. He's not signed for Real Madrid. Next week, maybe a deal will be done. But maybe Sporting Lisbon are like, we're not selling him till after that game. He's a Sporting Lisbon player, isn't he? So, you know, if United said, here's 90 million tonight, they'd probably sell him and he wouldn't play tomorrow. But that's not going to happen, is it? Louis Marsh, we should sell Pogba, a player who don't want to play for the badge, and not even all that. We have Matic, who has pace off the mark, and flair. You started off so well, Louis, and then you destroyed it with nonsense. But look, if you'd said to me in June, would you sell Pogba? The videos are there. I said, yes, I would, because I felt that there was long enough for us to replace Pogba. If you're saying to me, would I sell Pogba now? Look, if he doesn't want to be here, my heart says I want to sell Paul Pogba, but my head says, like, you can't sell Pogba and go into the season with that midfield. It's a madness. So I think we need to keep Pogba. Because I don't see the time to replace him. And if we sell Pogba and sign Bruno Fernandes, I'll go mad, because Bruno Fernandes was meant to help the midfield with Pogba. He's not a replacement for Pogba. So yeah, look, let's just see. I think it's going to be a very interesting week. We've got you covered on the United Stand as always. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and make sure you click your bell and get your notifications on. And if you think you have clicked your bell, click it again and make sure you tick to get all notifications on. And if you want to know how to get notifications on your phone, you need to go to your apps, go to YouTube, into YouTube's, tick get all notifications. A lot of people don't have their notifications turned on for YouTube and they wonder why they don't get one. Okay, so we are very close to kick-off. It is a pre-season game, so I very much doubt it will kick off at 1:30. There seems to be a consistent problem with pre-season games. They never ever seem to kick off on time. So it may well not, but because they're talking to Ollie at the moment. Matic is like a lightning bolt, pure speed, says Deadpan Man. And we want Lingard, says Haha Banter. Jean Gomez says, shout out from South Africa. I enjoy your work, Mark. Good opinions, but not always accurate. De Gea over Maguire for captaincy. Why? Because Maguire's not playing. In the long term, maybe Harry Maguire can be our captain, but he wasn't captain at Leicester either. And you're very right. All my opinions, I think when people grab what this channel's all about, you enjoy it more. You're not meant to agree with everything I say. That's never the thing. I just present the channel and I express my opinion. And if it makes you think about things yourself, then the channel's won. If you agree with some things, great. If you disagree with others, brilliant. It's all about opinion. Mark, we should sell Pogba now while we still have time to get Savage. Then add, you said Savage. I hope you're not talking about Robbie Savage. I presume you're talking about Savage. Then add Dybala and Bruno. Look, Kareem, if there was time for Manchester United to sell Paul Pogba because he wants to go, bring in Milinkovic, Savage and Bruno and Dybala, do it. But I don't see how we can do that in 4 days, 5 days. Joydeep Chakrabarti says, good job, Mark. Simply love your commitment. Love from India. Do let me know if you ever come to India. Well, look, when was the last time Manchester United played a game in India? Because I think it's been too long. Apparently the Snapchat thing from Pogba is fake. There is literally no news going up on Sky Sports today, says Lee Nicole. I really hope Bruno comes, says Hakeem Latif. You don't know how much I want it to happen. You just don't know how much I want it to happen. And that right side of defence is looking great, says Raw K. It is. And when you had Harry Maguire in there, it's going to look even better. The players are not even out on the pitch yet, so 5:30 kickoff is not going to happen. Typical on a pre-season game. Just get on with it, lads. Get on with it, you know. That's what we want to do. So they're in the tunnel. Is United better off without Pogba, says Sebastian United? Not with the current setup. Not with the current setup. Nowhere near. You'd have to replace him and bring others in, to be honest with you. And I don't know whether United are going to do that. So what happens with Alexis Sanchez, says Mac. All we know with Alexis Sanchez is that he's not available today and he might be available. God. He might be available in the future. But for now, he might be available. Sorry, he might be available for the Chelsea game. But we don't know that for sure. Right, the players are coming out and I've just gone and got the hiccups. Oh. And Brandon Foray says that kickoff is actually 5:36, which is weird. That's got to be one of the weirdest kickoffs times ever. Jimmy Boardman agrees. Right, I've got to get rid of these hiccups. I don't know how you do it when you're talking. I know how to get rid of them when I'm not talking. Could do with a minute's silence, really. Has anybody died? Joe Longthorne, rest in peace. But the running show for tonight, this evening then, we have got United Stand with me all the way through till full time. Then you've got a match reaction with me. Then you've got fan cams with Flex, who's at the game. And then we've got a behind the scenes vlog of the day, which will close the day out. And I think after I've done my match reaction, which will be about 8 o'clock anyway, I think I'm going to go and watch Heat, an absolute classic film. But there you go. Look at Pogba. The Snapchat story is a fake, apparently, Luke. So there you go. Hold your breath, says Gifted Surfboards. Yeah, if you want a tip on how to get rid of... I've just done it, actually. You've just seen it there and live on air. I might make a little clip of that and, you know, how to get rid of hiccups. I'll probably get millions of views on YouTube. If you want to know how to get rid of hiccups, it works for me absolutely every time. Let a hiccup go through. Wait a few seconds because they're normally about 10 seconds in between. Hold your breath. And then when you feel the hiccup come in, just swallow. Swallow 2 or 3 times whilst you're holding your breath. It will go. Works every time. We need Bruno and Dybala and get rid of Timberland boot, says David Lamb. Back of the net. Smutty says best film ever, Heat. Yeah, I have to watch it every summer. It's a bit like watching Home Alone at Christmas. I have to watch Heat in the summer. I love it. Absolutely brilliant film. And it's a long film that goes quite quick. Swallow a drink upside down, says Stephen Haas. I've just given you it. I've given you there. I tell you what, there's a new film coming out with Al Pacino and De Niro called The Irishman as well on Netflix in the autumn. I'm really hoping it's going to be good. Andrat Singh says, why is Angel Gomez suddenly behind Mason and gets less game time? What wrong has he done? Look, you know what? I'm going to take a note of that for the pre-season preview this week about the youth. I'm not convinced about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the youth. I know he used it on the tour, but when we play proper games, I'm not convinced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will use the youth. I think he's going to default to the same old stuff. And the same old stuff, of course, is going to be people like Mata. So yeah, that's what I'm sort of fearful of if I'm going to tell the truth. See you at Meetup on Thursday. Enjoy the game, says Ulray. Yeah, really looking forward to that. If you want to be at the United Stand Meetup next Thursday, it is in London, and you can get tickets. I'll put the link in the video description soon. But basically, I'll be on the match reaction. We've still got some tickets left. We've just released another 50. Remember when AC Milan tore United apart in 2007, says Neil Jones. AC Milan used to be a very, very good team. They're not anymore. And I think United will win this game comfortably. What are your score predictions, actually? I'm going to go Manchester United to win this game. I'm going to go 3-1. I don't think AC Milan will let loads of goals in, but sometimes Italian teams can be exposed like that. So I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester United. What are your score predictions for tonight? I don't think we'll get exposed in the midfield. Part of me wishes that we would, because we need midfielders. But the referee looks about 5. God, you know you're getting old when the referee looks like your son. But yeah, AC Milan about to kick off. It looks like it is a 5:36 kickoff, whatever that's all about. But yeah, AC Milan not that good. They're not all that. So should be a straightforward game for Manchester United. Looks packed at Cardiff. Looks like a good sellout at a good ground. Flex is there in his press access. I don't think Milan will cause as many problems. I mean, Rojo's a weak link, but that's a very strong back four. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully Pereira can have a good game. McTominay, I think Rashford and Martial need to start stepping it up. Juan Mata. I love Mata, but it does irritate me. He looks like a film star. He's such a nice bloke, but I just don't see the point in Mata anymore. I'd even say play Lingard ahead of him. Gomez, Chong, Greenwood, Daniel James. Any of those 5 ahead of Mata for me, but hopefully Dybala comes in and we don't see any Mata anymore. I just don't see the point in Juan Mata anymore. I know that's a very sad statement, but I don't. Watch him go and score a couple of goals now. Right, can we kick this game off, ref? Are we ready? I've got my thing. Here we go. And we're off. And the timer works. Susu's going to expose Matic, says Ed Woodward. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Mata's on the ball straight away. Gives it to Matic, who gets it out to Pereira. And United are on the attack straight away. Keep your eye on Rashford and Martial. I think there'll be a lot of interchanging between the two. Mark, score prediction, mate. Keep up the good work, says Cameron Bauer. I've gone Manchester United to win 3-1. I can't see anybody predicting that AC Milan are going to win, actually. Somebody just called Mata a slug. Ben Hickman. And why the hell is Matic playing, Suresh? Because he will. He will play. He's going to play. He's a weak link, but he will play. Anyway, that's the real interesting thing, isn't it? If you notice things tactically as well, get in the live comments. I like to see all that lot going on. Give us your thoughts on players and how we're playing, etc. through the game, and we'll interact. He's a good left back. What's his name? Is it Rodriguez? I remember United being linked to him. Very, very good left back. I liked him. I liked it when United were linked to him, actually. Mark, Piatek and Suso are good, to be honest, as Fitness and Scripted, Sharath Kamath. Yeah, look, I'm not saying these AC Milan are they're not bloody awful, but I don't think they'll cause as many problems. Lebo Macalamy says, hi Mark, out of 10, how confident are you of Dybala? I'm confident about Bruno Fernandes and always have been. I think the only thing that can mess that up is United. And remember, I said the same about Harry Maguire, so hopefully lightning will strike twice. Dybala, I'm going to stay 50-50 on Dybala because it's not a deal I've ever heard of. It's not a deal I know anything about. So I'm going to stay 50-50 on Dybala. McTominay just catching there. Kalaniglu Kalanaglu, I can't pronounce his name very well, for AC Milan has got a brilliant set-piece delivery, by the way. The game is on MUTV, Kiel Games, if you are able to watch it where you are. I don't know whether it plays through the app, but I'm a subscriber of MUTV. I know some people aren't anymore because they're not happy with the Glazers. But yeah, I'm 50-50 on Dybala. Mainly because it's not a deal I know anything about. Like Maguire, I knew at the start of July, I was told by somebody from Leicester that we were going to sign him. So I felt confident. Bruno Fernandes, obviously since March, felt confident. Dybala, I don't know anything about it really, other than what we're all reading together. So I'm going to stay 50-50 on it because it's a big deal. It's a big deal to get a player of that quality. Lawrence Anamanan says, keep an eye on Rogbonnelli. Very good centre-back for AC Milan. We've sort of been linked to him in the past, very tentatively. I mean, we don't need to be linked to any centre-backs now. The Koulibaly thing is done. I mean, imagine if Man City go and sign Koulibaly. That's my only thought. But I don't think they will. I think City are going to sign Cancelo, and then that'll be it. Good pace to this game so far. Dipanshu Kumar says, if in May anybody had told you that Bruno will not be signed until August, what's your action? And you missed my last two super chats. Great show, Mark, and Pogba to stay. Sorry for missing it, Dipanshu. Look, United's transfer window could be a really good transfer window, but the reality is we've done our business way too late. Way too late. Arbalou says we're going to win 3-1. There's a good pace to this game, and to be fair, I'm impressed by the pace that AC Milan have shown in the start of this game, to be honest with you, because it's something that's probably a little bit obvious to anybody who watches Italian football, that it isn't as quick as ours, and it can be an opportunity for teams to get at, for British teams to get at, well, Premier League teams to get at the Italians, but they started off quite fast. I wouldn't say United have started off that impressively, but we want to be tested, don't we? We want to be tested. Albaloo, I've already answered that. Mata looks fast, says Vastedi, but a good pace to the game. And I think the great thing about Lindelof playing is that, you know, we can all be like, why is he playing? But we know he won't be playing next week because we've just bought Harry Maguire. So we don't even have to stress about how crap Rojo could be in this game. Which is a nice thing to not have to stress about. Martial's playing at number 9, says King Halim. Well, there was an article out today, wasn't there, through the Unibet vlog that I put out about how Martial is the main man for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Rashford's through the middle at the moment, so good pressing there from Wan-Bissaka, forcing the throw in for United well into the AC Milan half. But that's very important. I mean, I think people get a little bit worried if we sign Dybala. We don't want to see him on the right wing, but there will be a lot of interchangeability because we've seen that from day one. The first few games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back in December, January, we saw the interchangeability between Martial and Rashford and Lingard, and we've seen that on the tour again. So we will see that. I mean, Rashford is actually playing as the number 9 naturally at the moment, but we will see some interchanging between the two. I mean, interestingly, Pereira's playing to the right and Mata's playing as the number 10 at the moment. Do you think it's true that Pogba isn't playing because he's forcing a move? Seeing a few outlets saying that, says Michael Maystar. I don't think it is. I think he probably has got a bit of an injury, but having said that, I'm not totally confident yet that he will stay. Josh Hudge is saying that Dybala will be a flop before he's even signed. Milan are moving the ball around quite nicely at the moment. Matic moves forward and they just bypass him. No high pressure from United as warrior of actions. Matic has got it. And Pereira wins the foul. Old AFC's made a good point. He says, for all your bloody confidence about United, how many people have actually put Manchester United players into their fantasy Premier League team for next season? I haven't done mine yet, but Wan-Bissaka would be a good shout. I think Manchester United defenders might be a good shout. I think Pogba, if he stays, is always a good one. Good tackle there by Wan-Bissaka. Can Rashford do anything with it? No. But a very good pace to this game. Can you do a meet-up in Belfast soon, please, says Aaron Gillespie. We're sort of trying to work on one. Cross comes in from Martial, cleared in Dublin for November. And Mark Rush says, good test for us this game. Milan are technical and will put static Matic under pressure. Pereira looks rapid. Thanks, Matt, for the contribution. Matic the giraffe, says Zed Jamie. Look, it doesn't matter how you press or how quick you want to move the ball. If you've got players in the team like Matic, you simply can't do it. McTominay there moving the ball. Wan-Bissaka down the right hand side. Not enough men in the box there for United, and then a wasteful ball. I feel for Wan-Bissaka there because he gets in a position where he can put a cross in, but there's nobody there. Juan Mata's definitely playing at number 10. He's not playing off the right, so Pereira's playing off the right, which, yeah, I'm not overly overjoyed with that, to be honest with you. Fitness Unscripted, Sharath Kamath says, Mark, I don't know why we aren't discussing about signing a striker. I know it's not the main priority, but we need a two-footer striker so bad. Well, there's it might be a chance here for Pereira to shoot, and he shoots wide, which is a shame. He was shooting from distance. There is an opportunity there for Manchester United to go and get Mandzukic, and a lot of people are talking about that potentially. So, at 33 years of age, he's not really the player that I would be looking at, if I'm totally honest with you. But can't believe Premier League is about to start. It's been too long, says Sebastian Anderson. Please do share the video if you're watching, by the way. There's a share button underneath. Please click and share it on Twitter and on Facebook. AC Milan to win by 4, says Mortimer Francis. It hasn't been that sort of a game. I'd say it's a 50-50 game so far. But AC Milan do look far more technical than us in moving the ball about. I just wouldn't jump on that too much too soon. Good block there by Wan-Bissaka. Nothing gets past East Titanium. Manchester United just passing it around at the back at the moment. Bit dangerous, but it goes for a goal kick. Right. I think we're going to do well this season if we get all our transfer targets, says Sean Griffin. Well, it's a goal kick for United at the moment. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that if United can get all their targets in, then we have got an opportunity to do well. But those targets are dependent on what are your targets. For me, the minimum has got to be Bruno Fernandes and Dybala in the next week. If we get those two in, I feel we could fight for third, but Spurs are a good side. If we don't get a midfielder in, I think we might be fighting with Leicester. I really don't rate that Manchester United midfield at all today. Not because I dislike the players, because that's unfair to say that, but because, well, I don't like Matic, he's crap. But you know, the quality's not there. It's at best it's a Leicester midfield, and I don't think that's a good midfield. I don't. McTominay and Pereira, no matter what you say, are potential. And also, let's not forget, Pereira's playing off the right. Mata's playing in the midfield. So it's just not a good Manchester United midfield, that, as far as I'm concerned. But everybody can have their say, of course. Maguire should be co-captain, says Element82002. Well, United are on the attack at the moment with Martial. Down the left-hand side, typically has loads of players on. Rashford shoots from a long way out. To be honest with you, the keeper makes that look better than it is. It's never going to go in. What's happening with Fosu Mensah, says Sean Byrne. He's injured. You see, that's the thing about Rashford there. He's shot from a ridiculous angle, right? The keeper palms it out, so everyone will go, oh! The learned people who know anything about football knows that was never going to go in a million years. And if it did go in, it's bad goalkeeping. It's just one of those where the keeper can't catch it. So you just got to palm it away. It's never going in, and it's a waste of time to shoot from there. But that's Rashford at the moment. He seems to do this all the time. Shoot from stupid places when we actually need a bit of possession. And anyway, why is he on the edge of the box? Get in the bloody box. That's what you're meant to be doing. I think that's a waste. I know some people will say, "Oh, you're moaning," but I just don't see the excitement in that shot. Right, it's a throw in to AC Milan. Rashford thinks he's Ronaldo too much. That's what he does. He thinks he's far better than he is. And he needs to work on the simple side of things before he starts trying to do things like that. But, you know, I do like the lad and I hope he becomes a good player. Any news about you think Darmian and more importantly Sanchez will survive the window, says Ashwari Kala. I think that, I think Darmian's got to go. And also, remember, we haven't got to do that by Thursday because other transfer windows don't close on Thursday. Brian Harvey said, oh, it's a good run by... that's a goal! And that is brilliant by Marcus Rashford. That's what we need Marcus Rashford to do. Cutting in from the inside. Have some of that. Fantastic goal by Marcus Rashford. We're talking there about him shooting from distance and silly shots. That's what we want to see from Rashford. Rashford with a cracking goal. I want to see that back again. He starts on the other side. He gets it on the left-hand side into space. I think it's McTominay who puts the ball out to him. Cuts inside. And Manchester... yeah, a bit of a deflection, but you make your own look. Cuts inside. Skips past the fullback. Takes another touch and bang. That's quality. That's a quality action from Marcus Rashford. And Manchester United take the lead inside 15 minutes. And it's a lovely finish from Marcus Rashford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is very happy with it. I think we're all very happy with that. 1-0. Change the score, Goldbridge. Where are we? Add source. Yes. 1-0 Manchester United, please. There we go. Back of the net. So, Manchester United lead 1-0. And Rashford reacts from a wasteful shot to an absolute banger of a goal. So, well done to Marcus Rashford there. Manu Pasta, my live comments hasn't updated. He just said Rashford is not a proper 9. Fact. That was about 2 minutes before Marcus Rashford made it 1-0 to Manchester United. Fantastic goal. Was it McTominay who put the ball over the top? Because it's a nice little ball into space. That interchangeability that we were talking about. Because Rashford's off the left. Martial's wandered into the middle. Rashford gets down, cuts inside, skips past 2 players, hits it low, deflects in, 1-0 to Manchester United. Thank you very much. And that's what we want to see from Rashford. Beans, beans, beans. But no, seriously, that's what we want to see from Marcus Rashford. Not shooting from 40 yards. Get a little bit more direct in your play. Hurt people with your pace. Get in the box, pull the trigger. That's what you need to do. Very, very good goal. And the battle's on. The more they battle, the more the battle goes on between Rashford and Martial, the better. Charlie, if United get Maguire, Fernandes and Dybala and Arsenal get Umtiti and Tierney, who will have a better starting 11? Please explain and compare, thanks. Charlie, we're watching a match here, but Arsenal don't compare to Manchester United if we get Maguire, Fernandes and Dybala. Simple as that. They just don't. And it was Matic who hit the ball over the top, so fair play. Fair play to Matic. Baller. He can hit a long ball. Well done. So, Manchester United doing what Manchester United have done on this tour, really. Not started off particularly well or 50-50, but clinical with their chances and creating chances, which is something that AC Milan have not done. And maybe AC Milan have had good possession, but maybe this is the development of Manchester United where, you know, we're not really giving away many chances because we're improving our defence. Foul on Luke Shaw there. Caveman's Lot says, thoughts on Delot being an exciting player this year? I don't really know where Delot fits in. You know, we've got such a massive squad. I mean, where does Young fit in? Where does Jones fit in? Where does Smalling fit in? Where does Fred fit in? Where does Delot fit in? I mean, United can't use that as a reason not to sign players because those players really aren't good enough. But where do they fit in? They're all at the club. Lovely switch of the play from Pereira. United are actually playing with some good confidence at the moment. Luke Shaw puts it into Rashford again, who's on the left-hand side, into Martial. Martial will want a goal now. Now Rashford scored a goal. Martial will want a goal. And AC Milan win it back. I mean, AC Milan just look a little bit toothless, don't they? Wan-Bissaka. Just phenomenal right back Wan-Bissaka is. And couldn't quite get the cross in there, but very strong the way he won it and got down the line. That's a good ball by AC Milan. Wan-Bissaka is going to have to work hard here. And Rojo covers quite well. Did well there, Rojo, to be fair. AC Milan just don't have any pace. Well, he's got past Mata too easy there, the AC Milan player. But United have got lots of numbers back. Barini's injured. Dalot as a left back, Mark, faster than Shaw, says John Parashthan. I think Luke Shaw's fast. I really do. I don't really have a problem with that. I like Luke Shaw, though, as people know. It's Matic who's absolutely carnaged Barini there. Or was that Barini? I don't know. I can't show you the game, Aisha. It is illegal to show you the game on YouTube, so I can't show you the game. Jack Lee says, why are you obsessed with Arsenal but love Liverpool? Well, neither of those statements are true, so I don't really need to answer it. United are going to smash Chelsea, says Antonio. That's a massive game next week, you know. I'm looking forward to... Well, you know what? The Chelsea game, nothing's going to happen with that until the transfer window closes on Thursday, is it? Then Friday we'll turn our attention to Chelsea. But I'm massively excited about that game because it's the first game of the season, which is always exciting. But on top of that, it's against Chelsea, which is always a game that you need to win. It's also at home, so you've got to win. It's also a rival for top four, so you've got to win. It's not ideal to have it first game of the season, but it is if you win. So we've got to win. Can you describe the goal, says Tristan Gift? Yeah, so AC Milan playing a bit of a high line. Matic hits it over the defence, down to the left-hand side. Rashford runs into it down on the left wing. Cuts inside past one player, running along the penalty box. Goes to shoot. Player goes to shoot to block the shot, but he's dropped his shoulder, skips past him, hits an AC Milan player and goes in the bottom corner. Very, very good goal. Very, very good goal. Al Ray says that Delo is the future of the club. Phenomenal player. I think Al Ray is Delo, sat on the bench, putting contributions in on the live chat. I don't like Liverpool, Joe Allen. I respect what Liverpool have done over the last 3 years, but they're our biggest rival. Good pressure there from Rashford on Donnarumma, who has to put it out for a throw-in. Will Lampard do well at Chelsea, says E. Cording. I think he's got a tough job. I think he's got a tough job because Hazard arguably was one of the best players in the Premier League. They've lost him. I mean, their new number 10 is Willian. Who is, you know, even Chelsea fans don't like him. So they've also got a transfer ban, and they've also got a new manager. So refs let that run. It looked like a foul to me, but Manchester United have benefited here. Luke Shaw on the edge of the box into Rashford, who is probably the best player on the pitch at the moment. Rashford. Martial's offside. Do you think you could cut it at Old Trafford, says Snaggled? I wouldn't have thought so. Arguably, says Darius Spots. Yeah, I think Rashford or Wan-Bissaka for me, best two players on the pitch. Wan-Bissaka's been phenomenal down that right-hand side again. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, you can go with the fact that Rashford scored a great goal, and he did. But I think that that was a fantastic goal. Mark, go and eat your supper, says Jose Marino. No, this is work. This is United Stand. This is we don't go and eat supper. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. You're very, very welcome. If you are new to the United Stand, you are going to love it. Live every night at 8 o'clock. We go live if there's any breaking news. Very busy yesterday with the Harry Maguire and Dybala and Fernandes stuff. Transfer daily, every day of the transfer window. Weekday of the transfer window at 7 a.m. Fan cams, we are there at the game. Flex and Josh, they've been out on tour as well. Singapore, Perth, China, Norway. The last leg is Cardiff. They're there today. They've actually got press access as well, so they'll probably be able to get you some footage of the players and Ollie's presser as well. But we will be doing fan cams as well. Loads going on with the channel. I'm actually down in London tomorrow. United Stand FC have got a game. We've got our meet-up on Thursday. It's transfer. There's loads going on. So make sure you subscribe if you're new. We've got a fantastic community. A worldwide community. Everybody's welcome. And we've got call-ins on a Monday night. So there's loads to get involved with. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get your notifications on by clicking the bell. And you're very welcome if you're new. And if you are not new, why haven't you subscribed? Who scored? Marcus Rashford scored, says Pinu Mishra. Pinu Mashra asked. It was Marcus Rashford who scored. The pace is too fast for Mata, says Alfie. It is. It is. Here's AC Milan with a chance though. Nice little ball. And Rojo's actually done quite well in this game, to be fair. I'm going to be fair to him and say he has done quite well. Ooh, decent shot there. De Gea was like, what you on about? Suso. Distance. Shot from distance. Oh, and AC Milan. I mean, that's Matic's problem for you there. He just got sandwiched by two players. And they do score! And it's bloody Matic again! You absolute dinosaur. Jurassic Park, dinosaur Matic. He gets given the ball and he's just swamped in no time because he's a donkey. Donkey Matic. And then they win the ball back. They play one pass and he shoots from distance. Who is it who scores? Is it Suso? Lovely finish. But donkey Matic gets pressed too quickly because he's a donkey. And it's 1-1. All the good work undone because Matic is crap. He's awful. He's absolutely awful. Get rid of him. He is going to destroy. I don't care if you sign Dybala, Fernandes, Messi, Ronaldo, whoever you sign. If he's playing in your midfield, those things are going to happen. He is a donkey, man. He is absolutely donkey-esque. I mean, they've not shown it far enough back, but what happens is the ball gets played to Matic, who thinks he's got all the time in the world driving Miss Daisy, thinks he can bloody write his shopping list. AC Milan, 2 players got at him. 2 players sandwiched him, got the ball back, went forward and scored. Donkey. He is a donkey. And why are we playing him? I said this at the end of the season, that CDM position is so important in anything you want to do. He is like watching a game on slow play on the lowest level. It's like this. He's so slow. I know he got the assist, but he's a donkey. He is a donkey. He's too slow. Max Dillat, thanks for the contribution. I've got to change the score now. AC Milan, to be honest, will be very happy with that. And it was a good goal, but it's a goal out of nothing. You know, you can't moan at... Doesn't matter whether you've got a really good defence. Doesn't matter if your goalkeeper's world class. Doesn't matter if you've got De Gea, Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Shaw. If you've got a CDM who's going to lose the ball and then someone shoots before the defence can get at him, you're going to be in trouble. He's so... Oh, he's a liability, that guy. We desperately need somebody with a bit of... that Torreira that Arsenal's got, I'd take him. Just somebody with a bit of speed and tenacity on the ball. It's not even just his speed as a footballer. It's his speed in the way he plays football. He's slow. Kessie I would take, Sean Byrne. I don't know why Kessie's not playing for AC Milan. Where is Kessie? I would take him over Matic every day of the week. Maybe he's injured. When I see Matic running, I hear the Chariots of Fire song, says Charlie Welsh. Yeah. But it isn't just static Matic. It isn't just his speed in running. It's his brain speed with the ball. He thinks he's got ages. And then he gets exploited like that. Donkey Matic. We need a bloody emoji for it, don't we? And I know, look, he's a human being at the end of the day. Let's be fair, it's only football. But this is our club. We support our club. Do you just stay quiet on somebody who's a weak link? And it's not a one-off. It's not like Pereira makes a mistake and we've never slagged him off before and we suddenly go, Pereira, you're shit, as a one-off. We've been saying this about Matic for ages. He's too slow. He's a hot potato man when he's got the ball. How many touches can I take? 20, 30, 40. He never moves the ball quickly and he doesn't move quickly himself. And lo and behold, the midfield is the problem in this game. We said it before. The midfield's just not good enough. And Finch is right. All pre-season Matic has been poor. You're right. And it'll be even worse in the Premier League. If he's getting found out by Italian midfields, he's going to get dominated in the Premier League next year. Cross comes in from AC Milan. Good header. That'll go wide. But Milan will be happy to be back 1-1. They'll be happy to be back 1-1 because I think United had control of the game. And it's not good enough. Welcome to Ryan Sharkey, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I mean, maybe I'm being hard on Matic. I mean, give us your thoughts. We'll have a few bit of a chat about it. But Ndidi would be perfect. But yeah, we're never going to get him. Hamza or Lingard. But he's just so slow, and it's not literal slow. Yeah, he's a slow runner. But as I said, it's the slow movement of the ball. He's a lethargic player. Very, very lethargic. Matic shows his quality. Finally, people see Matic as a joke. I've been saying it for years. If they replace Matic and get a better centre, Manchester United will be better, says Esquigo River Ramzan. Look, I got a lot of stick, mate, when we signed Matic. My reaction video was I don't want him. He's slow, he's on the decline, and people are like, oh, he's a good midfielder. I think he's been a bad signing. I think the first month we bought him, he was good, but generally the last 2 years, he ain't been that good. I don't really think Matic has had 5 good games for United where you went, oh, that was an 8 out of 10. I think he's just bang average, to be honest. Anyway, it's AC Milan are now... I mean, technically AC Milan have been the better team. I just don't think they've got the quality. Buster Nut says MUTV was on about how Matic is vital this year. Well, that shows you the quality of people they've got statistically analysing on MUTV. I mean... just clueless. You as a football fan watch United play. You as a football fan know where the weaknesses are in that United side. And Matic is not fundamental to Manchester United next season. He's fundamental to where we'll finish in the league because how many games he plays will have a direct connectness on how low we finish. If Matic doesn't play, we might have a good season. If he plays every single game, he will cost us because I don't think we'll finish mid-table just because Matic plays, but I don't think we'll finish in the top 3 because teams like Spurs and Liverpool and Man City, they just move past Matic with their quick play. Fellaini was no better, Kilan. Let's not try and rewrite history. Matthew Duncan says he's a 5-touch donkey. He does take too many touches of the ball. Welcome to Dagog, host, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. So AC Milan at the moment are dominating the play. But, I would say that over the game, AC Milan's midfield is far more technically gifted than ours. But some people did really fear this. I wasn't so sure that would be the story of the game, but it has been. The midfield battle has just not been won by Manchester United. It's technically better. That was a good play by Matic. Used his body to win it back. Right, Rashford down the left-hand side. Get rid of it there. Oh, they've won it back. But yeah, very, very technically good side, AC Milan. I can see why they struggle in Serie A though, because for all their technical ability in and around the midfield, I just don't think they've got that frightening player up front, or player or two. There's no updates on Bruno Fernandes. A lot of people are asking about that. There's no updates on Bruno Fernandes today. There's a little bit more about Spurs maybe in for him, but I think Bruno Fernandes himself put a comment on Instagram saying it's a load of crap. So he's playing for Sporting Lisbon tomorrow against Benfica. I think then we'll start to hear some stuff about Bruno on Monday. I'm going to stick with him coming to United because I think he's absolutely essential. That's just... Oh, the way he left Matic for dead there. He's getting annihilated. He's just absolutely just been made to look an idiot there, Matic. But Matic struggles against players that are technical and small because he's big and slow. Paul De Luca, if Pogba wasn't so good in the final third, he could be the perfect CDM with players like Bruno in front of him. Also, shout out for my birthday marks, says Paul De Luca. Happy birthday, mate. United are struggling in this game at the moment. They're struggling to... Defensively, we actually look quite good, which I think we will do. But the midfield's just not got any flair or creativity. And the front three are not really... don't really look fluid together. It's a very disjointed United side at the moment. Maybe we're playing Rojo to put him in the shop window, says Kohlberg. I agree. I mean, he's done all right, Rojo. Oh, good interception there from Lindelof. Otherwise, AC Milan were in one-on-one. Snaggy Tooth has got a hole in his undies. Petter, your Samuelson says, good to see you back from your holiday. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's good to be back because it was a fantastic holiday, but back to work for the last week. Really looking forward to next Thursday night as well, the United Stand get-together in London. We've still got tickets. If you want to get hold of one, make sure you watch my match reaction after this. The link will be in the video description for you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. We've still got 10 minutes to half-time. It's been quite a long, interesting first half, to be honest with you. United getting a little bit more of the ball here. Well spread by Mata. That needs to go to Martial much quicker there from Luke Shaw. But yeah, United are very... This is a bit Mourinho-esque, this is. Get to the edge of the box and then fight side to side. McTominay tries to shoot, and I think that was a hit and hope. And now... I think that's Kalanigu running away. And he's done well there. And now AC Milan have a little bit more space. But United have got people back into position. See, AC Milan don't commit many players forward. And United have got loads of players behind the ball. So I think this is why AC Milan struggle. They just don't have enough in the final third. Matic can't be that bad. Is he assisted both goals, says Testec. Budum-dum-tush, good one. CDM is the root cause of our defensive woes. Too bad we didn't work on this transfer. Frustrating, says Saga Hegdi. The CDM is the most fundamental position in most footballing sides. It is the metronome, or whatever they call it. It's the tick-tock. It's the position that takes the ball off the back four, protects the back four, feeds the players in front of them. It's such an important position. And if you can have a really good team, but if your CDM isn't that good, then you will struggle. And he's lost it again. He's bloody lost it again. Well, this time it's going to go for a goal kick. Atrocious half. Terrible half from Matic. Oh, Man United here, trying to pass it out from the back, and De Gea... Oh, I didn't see Rojo there. I thought he just passed it to one of their players. Right, let's have a look at the live comments, what people are saying. But you know what? The goal that we conceded was because Matic took the ball and had no idea what was going on around him. And you can't have a player like that doing that. Fred did it against Wolves and we conceded. Remember when he took it off? I think he took it off De Gea. But you can't take... United clearly want to play out from the back. But if you've got a player that doesn't have the awareness or speed around them, that when they, get pressed like that, he doesn't work. I was quite encouraged when I heard that Matic, there was clubs from Italy interested in Matic, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky. Pogba is being missed. A few people are saying that. Look, whatever you think about Paul Pogba, at this moment in time, we haven't signed Bruno Fernandes. We haven't signed any other midfielders. And if we don't sign a midfielder, we have to keep Pogba. He's way better than anything that we've got. The midfield terrifies me. It's just not good enough. Oh, it's nearly a goal. What a ball in that was. Absolutely fantastic by AC Milan. Super ball in. And it's curling. The AC Milan player tries to get on it as it's curling towards goal. He doesn't. And De Gea has to... And I think it's Suso again. Lovely little ball. He probably should score on the dive. He doesn't. And De Gea has to pull off a save. But should have been 2-1 to AC Milan. Must have been offside because they didn't get a corner. But technically AC Milan have dominated our midfield. They haven't really got much in the final third. But in the midfield, it's been really easy for them. And this is a hint of what United are going to have next season if they don't get some quality and tenacity into that midfield. Red Devil fighting. Matic has been absolutely rubbish. And the rest. Apparently Arsenal are looking to loan Philippe Coutinho. Rojo with a foul there. The Zlatan 92 says this just exposes how crap Matic is and he's not good enough for United. I think many of us already knew that, mate. And it's just United don't seem to want to do anything about it, which is a shame because he just is not good enough. He should go to Italy and retire. That's exactly where he should go. So got 5 minutes till half time. Swap him for Fred ASAP, says Porik. O'Donoghue, yes, definitely. I'd like to see Fred come on second half because Matic should not come on out in the second half. But I think Ollie sees Matic as a first teamer. I think every manager, I think that's the thing that Manchester United over the last few years, isn't it? Whether it's Moyes, Mourinho, Van Gaal, they all seem to pick one player that makes us weak. They get lots of things right, but there's always one player that they're obsessed with that makes us weak. And I'm worried that Ollie has that Matic weakness as well. Fans are quiet, says Robin. Well, I think apart from that goal from Rashford, which is very good, what have Manchester United done? Very little indeed. And there's not a lot to get excited about again. I mean, we put a tweet out on the United stand saying AC Milan midfield is streets ahead of ours technically. Jordan says our midfield is going to get horribly exposed in the Premier League. If this doesn't force the issue with Bruno Fernandes, nothing else will, says Glazers out. That's why Pogba can't go, says Saint. This is what happens when you play Mata and Matic. One lacks the speed, the other lacks the strength, says Lionel UXD. And I think he's spot on there. I think, you've got two very slow players in a team. And they are, you know, we saw it in a couple of times in the pre-season games as well. But AC, I mean, I'm not really one for stats, but I would imagine AC Milan have had way more possession of the ball than us. And as we were saying there, the Rashford chance is really the only thing from the game. And AC Milan have moved the ball around really well, and they've got a chance here. Cross coming in. No. They've still got the ball. Much the better team. He should have shot there, Suso. He tried to play somebody in. United might get a bit of a break. I mean, Martial's been invisible. But he's, you know, yet again, Rashford trying to make something happen here. Oh, it nearly worked. Nearly worked, to be fair. Why is that not working? Sorry about this. So we're about a minute away from half time. Right. And it's AC Milan coming forward again. Lindelof slips. De Gea's out. Good save by De Gea. Luke Shaw clears, and we should get it clear, but Matic doesn't really get much height on that, but he probably can do all he could do. And AC Milan could have been 2-1 up again. Well, it would have been the first time they were 2-1 up, but it was another chance to be 2-1 up. Good cross. I think we'll just about make it to half-time. And you would hope that there will be some changes from Manchester United at half-time, because that is not a good half from Manchester United, is it? Not far from it. Far from it. But we saw this a lot on the tour as well. When Matic and Mata played, we were a slower team. And then when we took Matic off and Mata off, got some of the youth on, or just had a midfield that didn't involve them, we became a better team. That's the worrying thing going into next week against Chelsea. If Matic starts, we're going to see this lethargy again, aren't we? Midfield players killing us, says Kareem Blake. I agree. 45 minutes, 1 minute to be added on. Painful to watch, says Prizulf. Mata is invisible, says King Hallam. Yeah, but you know what? I think there's players on that pitch that you would say, player ratings. I mean, I'll give you my player ratings very well. We'll do it at half time actually, but you know, I don't think McTominay's had a good game. I don't think Pereira's had a good game. Martial's not had a good game. Rashford, apart from the goal, not had a good game. Everybody gets affected by the bad performances of other players. And it's hard, you know, some people are saying, let Garner play, says Sebastian Anderson. I don't see how he could play any worse. But, I mean, you know, Juan Mata there, he gets hold of the ball and all he can do, because he's got no pace, is pass it to somebody else. You need a player in that position who can get the ball and carry it themselves. We limit what we can do as a football club when you've got someone like Juan Mata on the pitch, because all Mata can do, and he's quite good at it, is hold the ball up and pass to somebody else and get them to carry it forward. You need someone like, you need someone in the Mata position to carry the ball themselves sometimes. You can't, a player picking it up and passing it to somebody else. If you're one of the attackers, you lose something with that. So, look, it is 0-0. Sorry, it's 1-1 at half-time. Massively missed Paul Pogba, as many people had predicted we would, but also more worryingly, massively exposed in the midfield yet again. I mean, Matic is the easy one to have a go at. Predictable, wasteful Rashford and Martial, says Damu Uut. I mean, look, you could have a go at Rashford and you could have a go at Martial. I don't think they've had very good games. Rashford scored a goal. For me, the best player on the pitch was Wan-Bissaka again, because he's been flawless down the right-hand side. Lindelof and Rojo have done okay. Luke Shaw's done okay. De Gea's done okay. Matic, dreadful. I think if Matic hadn't put the ball over the top for Rashford to score from, I'd give him a -5. I thought he was absolutely dreadful. Definitely at fault for the goal. Just a very, very bad performance from Matic. McTominay, average. Pereira, average. Mata, pretty poor, really. So, apart from the goal, United haven't created anything. It's been hard to see what the style of play is again. Where's the press? Where's the quick movement to the ball? Are you going to get that with a Mata and Matic in the team anyway? If Dolly thinks this is one of his strongest teams, he's in trouble. Because, all right, Harry Maguire comes in, but actually Rojo's played well, so that's not been the problem tonight. Paul Pogba comes in, but can Paul Pogba solve the whole problem himself? Maybe this is why Paul Pogba wants to go. Because without Pogba in the team, we're dreadful. But one player can't do it all on their own either. Paul DeLuca, I think that though a bit shaky, Dan James' pace and pressing would suit this game. Also, Matic is just a B-Tech, Mr. Bean. Look, second half, you got to get Matic off, get Fred on. You got to get Mata off and get maybe Gomez on. Or Lingard on. Those two players have got to come off, and I think we'll see a better United because it's just too slow. It's static Matic, isn't it? And yeah, United's... Look, yes, we need to sign Bruno Fernandes. We probably need to sign 2 midfielders, which we're not going to do. But we've got to sign Bruno Fernandes because that midfield is just... You can't carry what we've got in that midfield at the moment. It's just not good enough. And if the worst scenario happens and we lose as Pogba... You can, but as I said, you can bring Dybala in. You could bring Messi in if you want. That midfield will finish below Leicester. It will. It's not good enough. It is not good enough at all. It will be criminal if we don't buy Bruno Fernandes or another midfielder next week. We have got to sign a midfielder. It's not good enough. McTominay's got potential. Pereira's got potential. But potential isn't consistent performances every week. Matic is finished. Pogba might leave. The midfield is where you win and lose games, and the midfield is abysmal. With a polo, with a nice outside, with a hole in the middle. We've got to address that hole in the middle, 100%, very very quickly. Med 3, Matic and Mata play over 50s walking football. I think they'd be very good at it. I mean, very quickly, player ratings. I'd give De Gea a 6. Lindelof a 6. Rojo, probably give Rojo a 7. I thought Rojo played quite well. Luke Shaw a 6. Wan-Bissaka an 8. Matic a 2. McTominay a 6, Pereira a 6, Mata a 5, Rashford a 6, and Martial a 5, really. He's not played that well. Our midfield is invisible, says Udit Batnaga, and we need a midfielder. We desperately, desperately do. Rashi keeps giving the ball away too easy. I think Rashford's been saved by the fact that he scored a good goal, but apart from that, him and Martial have been quite quiet. We need Bruno now, says Yep. Matic is officially finished, says Shane Bratzel. The thing about Matic is, and somebody else has just said Matic is done there. We were talking about it at the end of the half. The centre defensive midfield position is so important. Doesn't matter how good a players you've got in front or behind. The CDM takes the ball off the back four, protects the back four, and feeds the players in front of him. When you've got a player like Matic, he can't protect the back four because he's too slow. He can't take the ball off the back four because he's not aware of anything going on around him, which is why we conceded the goal. And he can't feed the people in front of him because he holds onto the ball for too long. There are 3 massive flaws in his game. He should not be playing for Manchester United. Now, apparently, they said on MUTV he's a fantastic player and he's a really important player. They don't know anything about football, I'm sorry. They don't. Well, they know something, obviously, but they're just a propaganda because Matic is the biggest issue in that team and we've been talking about it for about 18 months. He is irrelevant and he will cause so many problems. Wish granted, midfield effectively exposed, says Olvers. Need the agility and drive of James, Gomez and Chong from the first minute of the second half. Why aren't we pressing? Well, it's very hard to press when you've got players like Matic and Mata in your team who are slow. A press needs tenacity and it needs speed. And I've seen Mata trying to press, but he's like trying to press a defender and saying, I'll be there next week, I've just got to get the bus. There's no speed. And as I said, the problem with Mata is, because when he gets the ball on the halfway line, all he can do is try and pass it to Rashford or Martial because he can't carry the ball himself. Very odd that we kept Mata on, to be honest. We need at least 2 midfielders, says Chichoku. We definitely do. Tactically, we were clueless in the first half, said Red Patriot. Look, let me talk about AC Milan for a minute because they surprised me. I said at the start of the game, AC Milan aren't a very good team. I expect us to win 3-1. Their fitness levels are behind ours, and AC Milan are no longer a significant threat in Serie A. In this game, I think they've looked a little bit toothless up front, which I expected, but technically, they've been far superior. Like, they've passed the ball around so much better than we have. Their midfield has dominated ours. They've looked very, very good, AC Milan, and we've looked very, very bad. Meb3 says, to be fair, MUFTV have to toe the party line. They do. Look, I watch MUTV quite a lot. I love watching all the old stuff, and their presenters and their guests do toe the Manchester United brand line because that's what they're there to sell. They're not there to be negative. But what they shouldn't be doing is saying how important Matic is and what a great player he is. That exposes lack of knowledge of football. They don't need to do that. Talk about Pogba and talk about Rashford and talk about Lindelof and talk about Wan-Bissaka and how important they are. But don't feed propaganda lies to people about a player that's finished and we never should have bought in the first place. Udit, but no, look, even on his best day, Matic will never be good enough because he's never going to find 2 yards of pace. He's never going to find the ability to play the ball forward consistently fast. And he doesn't read the game very well anymore. Udit but Naga, I haven't seen Lindelof winning a header hardly 2 or 3 times in the whole season and people moaning about signing Maguire. Bruno, look, Maguire's going to be massive for us. Literally. Joe Dawson, thoughts on Pogba, Dybala, Bruno as midfield 3. City are capable of playing 3 attacking midfielders. Maybe that is the best way forward. If you've got a strong defence, you can play a more attacking midfield. Maybe that would happen. But what are we going to do with Nemanja Matic? He's on good money. He will play games for United. Ricky Tucker on about Suso for AC Milan. Played very, very well. Izu Andotu says Matic has now become a liability. With the new tactics, he's really struggling to keep up with the pace. Lindelof is outstanding at the back while Andreas got lost as his game progressed. Look, the thing about Andreas Pereira is I wanted Andreas Pereira to play in the midfield and he's been shoved out to the right and Matt has played at number 10. I wanted Mata out on the right. I want Pereira in the midfield and I think that's been a mistake as well. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to take responsibility. I mean, I'm just watching that goal back again. Dreadful by Matic. Awful. Awful. Absolutely terrible. And but I think we're struggling because we've got Matic and Mata on the pitch because they're both not the player they used to be and they're both not quick enough. Boring after 20 minutes, says Alex Timrock. Yeah, I mean, look, taking it away from Matic and Mata, because we could talk about those two a lot. Ultimately, United were not very good either. The last 25 minutes of the half, you know, I'm yawning myself. It was dull. It was as dull as dishwater. And you know, I think there's been some good things about the pre-season tour, but the closer we're getting to the Chelsea game, the worse we seem to be playing. You can't just rely on individual brilliance. You've got to start playing as a team. Rashford scored an individual brilliant goal, but as a team, we've not played that well. James Cutbush, hey Mark, huge fan of your content, been a member for 4 months now. Could you please shout out my Instagram at everything_United1? Thanks so much, love your work. Well, there you go. If you're on Instagram, follow at everything_United1. Not a problem, mate. Not a problem. Sign of season to come, says Mark Davis. I keep saying this. We could be on the cusp of something really exciting next week, or we could be on the cusp of something really worrying. I mean, worst case scenario, Pogba leaves and we don't bring a midfielder in. We're in trouble. Best case scenario, Pogba stays and we bring Bruno Fernandes in. We've got a chance. And that's where we're at with it, isn't it? Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we have got fan cams again at the ground. Flex is there, so we will have fan cams going up after the game. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We go live if there's any breaking transfer news or breaking news in general. So get involved. And most of all, we're live, so there's a live comments to interact with. So we've got a fantastic community. We normally put the live streams up an hour before we go live, so the live comments is there for people to chat amongst each other. There's some really good friendships and stuff that have been made through the United Stand community. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And also remember, Thursday night we have got our first ever United Stand get together at a place in London. It's also going to be our 500,000 subscriber party. It's also going to be a live show done for the audience, so really excited about that. We have still got tickets available. I'll put the link in the video description of the match reaction, which I'm going to do after this. So if you fancy coming down next Thursday, it's also transfer day, deadline day as well. So that's going to be very interesting as well. So really excited about that. Get involved. Fosu Mensah's injured. He's not going to be back until about Christmas time. So yeah. Matasa says Ollie's crap. I mean, you know, maybe Ollie, look, at some point Ollie does have to take responsibility. Yes. If he picks Matic over Fred, he picks Matic over Fred, doesn't he? So, you know, there is a responsibility to be had there, of course. Oh God, I'm bloody yawning. Look at beautiful David Beckham. So I hope this is not what we going to be like against Chelsea. Says if you play like that against Chelsea, you lose the game against Chelsea. You know, let's not pretend anything else. You play like that against Chelsea, you lose the game against Chelsea. What would I do in the second half? What would you do in the second half? Get in the live comments. I want to read some of them out because obviously different people do different things. So for me in the second half, I don't want to see a whole new team in the second half. You know, we've got to be building some momentum for next week. What would I do in the second half? I would take Mata off and I would bring either Lingard or Gomez on. I would take Pereira off and bring Greenwood or Daniel James onto the right-hand side of the attack. I would take Matic off and bring Fred on. That is what I would do. I think McTominay can stay on because we don't have many other options. But yeah, that's what I would do. I think that there is a real issue with the way that midfield is playing. And I don't think that Mata is working either. And I think Pereira on the right-hand side doesn't work either. So yeah, that's what I would do. That is what I would do. So I would. Okay, Adrian Lefevre says Matic has always been horrendous. The only thing I remember him for is his banger for Chelsea against Tottenham in the 16-17 FA Cup final. Awful. To be fair to Matic, he was a very good midfielder at Chelsea. But when we bought him, I'd already seen the decline in his last season at Chelsea. Bad signing by Mourinho. Been a bad player for United. He's getting worse because he's getting older. Savic is a better replacement for Matic, says Will Baker. Ernest Taberi says, people think because of Pogba's physique he should be more tenacious, but he's not. He's also not the fastest, so when he plays with Mata and Matic, because they are slow, Pogba's big weakness is overexposed. Very good tactical point there. Pogba needs some tenacity around him. I think if you put Pogba with Akante, you get a better Pogba. But there's just not enough pace in the Man United. I mean, McTominay's not quick, is he? Pereira's not quick. There is no speed in that midfield. And whether you believe some of these players are going to be good enough or not, there isn't that pace in the team. And there needs to be that pace in the team. Matic is declining, says Favour. I think we all know that. What's the noises in the back, says Abdul Rahim. None of your bloody business, Rahim. Abdul Rahim. Matic is not a bad player. His legs are just gone, says James X897. Yeah, you know, I'd agree with that. I'm blind. Mark can't hear you anymore, says Andrew Mail. Savic is not a CDM, says Agbale. So the players are coming out for the second half. I'm hoping we're going to see some changes at half time because we've got to see some changes at half time. Remember to join me for my match reaction straight after the game as well. If you want to come to the get together on Thursday, I'll put the link in the video description for that. Second half's about to kick off. I will put the timer up when it does. Pereira is quick, says Sean. He's not really fast though, is he? He'd be better than the midfield that we've got. I mean, that's been one of my disappointments from the first half, is that Pereira should be playing in the midfield three and we're playing him out on the right-hand side. That has been disappointing. Manish is losing faith. You got to have faith, says George Michael. Iman Habib 742. I'm 17 and would I be able to come to the gathering? You've got to be over 18, mate. Sorry. I said it with a straight face. Yeah, it is an over 18s event. I'm sorry. You can't even come if you bring an adult. Right, Mata's coming out for the second half. Martial's coming out for the second half. Rojo is doing super well today. 2 great tackles. Can we see him as a renewed player in a backup role? Says Siddharth Boss. Yeah, as long as he's a backup player. I don't think Ollie's going to make any changes at half time here. No, he's not. Same team, second half. Fucking hell. That's a joke. That is a joke. What sort of message does that send out? Look, I mean, I suppose you could read it that, oh, I'm going to give you another chance. But is 45 minutes in a Manchester United shirt not enough of a chance? Have you seen Pogba Snapchat? He is gone, says Alex Beard. Yeah, apparently the Snapchats are fake though, isn't it? So, Mark, you doing pro clubs next week or football manager, says Vikram Jaju? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing a FIFA career with all the new signings at all the new clubs. Right. Here's Rashford down the left-hand side again. Yeah, hold on to that for too long there. There was runners into the box. He ignored them. Rashford's got to sort his final ball out. There was runners into the box there. Quicker. Will you be optimistic if we buy Dybala and Fernandes, says Max Dullett? We'll be a better team with those two players, so it would have been an improvement on this. If he still plays Matic, you're still going to have your concerns, but we'll be a better team for those players. So United have started the second half with a little bit more pace to them, which is important. Oh, timer. Shit, yeah, you're right. Well, thanks for reminding me. So we are nearly... Oh, no, we're not. We're only one in. 1 minute. And what are we at? 20? Okay. There we go. 1 minute 20 into the second half. Have a little bit of a... It's not good to sit down for so long, you see, for my back. So just going to have a little bit of a stretch. Wind it up. Wind the body. Wiggle the belly. Boom shakalak. Here we go. Mata's got a bit of room, but he'll have to come back onto his left foot because he's got no right foot. I hate the inverted winger. He's got a lovely ball there where he could have just done something with his right foot, but he hasn't got one. But he's kept possession quite well. Luke Shaw, hit it, Luke. Corner. Corner to Manchester United. Yeah, but it's a shame there because Mata gets it on the right-hand side in space. He can whip a cross in if he's got a right foot, but because he hasn't got one, it's all left. Mark, you need to come on to India for a vacation, says Joydeep Chakrabarti. We've got decent fruit sellers, beaches and hills, chicken tikkas and biryani, and of course me. Everything sounds good. What's not to like? I love Indian food as well. Corner comes in from United. Can we score one? Donnarumma punches it away, and that's Matic chasing it. He's going to take till next Wednesday to get it. Palmares Beat says, I think we're playing Pereira, Mata and Matic where they are to show we need Dybala and Bruno, as Pereira should play centre midfield, Dybala in the right and Bruno CAM. And welcome to Arngerd85, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Remember, you can become a member of the United Stand Members Club. All you got to do is click the join button, and then when you're putting your comments in, you get a badge next to your name. You get access to all the emojis, which are exclusive. But who's that to there? Martial. I mean, Martial and Rashford have got to step up to the plate this season, because if Lukaku goes, they are the experience we've got. They have got to get 40, 50 goals next season between them. So, very good players on their day, but we need them to be on their day every week, not once a month. They both can do it. I mean, Martial's been ridiculously consistent his first season. He had a really good month under Mourinho a couple of times, so he can do it. He's just not been at it for a while. No subs at half-time, Marley Perry. We've stuck with the same team. .007 Martinu says that Villa have spent more money than United. I'm done. Fulham did it last year, mate, though it doesn't necessarily... spending money doesn't necessarily mean success. We did need to spend significant money though this summer. I mean, we say money. What we needed to do was bring two midfielders in, a centre back and a right winger. We've got the centre-back, but we still haven't got the two midfielders and the right winger. It's all very static from Manchester United. AC Milan finding it very easy to pass between the lines. I mean, they're just... Here we go. He's offside. Yeah, he's offside. But they're just moving through our midfield like a hot knife through butter. It's just too easy. He wasn't offside. Right, United on the attack. We've not really created anything all game. McTominay. Now, get people in the box. Wan-Bissaka's got it here, but nobody's moving for the box. Good ball to Mata. That's like a pass back. That's just crap. Oh, I don't know, people. Damu Uu says we have invisible man that Rashford marked keep passing to. Okay. Can Ollie not see how crap Matic is, says Glenn Oakley. You'd hope he can. You'd hope he can. I mean, I'd rather we were treating this game as, you know, trying to get as many people 90 minutes as possible. But if he's going to make like 10 substitutions on the hour, what do we learn again? What do we learn again? Sounds like the same old story, says Sandor. What is a CDM? Come on, United, says Stephen Brooks. Centre defensive midfielder, if people don't know. But, I mean, look, let's not forget, the game in Norway was pretty crap as well, wasn't it? You know. And I've got to be honest, United, I mean, it's only 6:45 at night in the UK and I'm tired. Mata, final ball, crap there. We actually caught them out there. We could have... we're pressing high up the pitch with numbers. But we might get caught out here. Lindelof's hurt his ankle. And I think Milan will kick it out. One of the criticisms of Ollie last season was that he didn't change tactics the team quick enough. Thoughts? It's a good point. In fact, I'm going to tweet that off my personal Twitter if you don't mind and just see what people say, because it's a good point. So Lindelof at the moment is just clutching his ankle. Adam Brown says a CDM is an anchor man. In our case, our CDM is an anchor man with a W ahead of anchor. I'm joking. Well, you know, as a footballer, he ain't that good, is he? Pereira is not up to the job, says Kevin Thread. To be honest with you, it's hard to tell whether these younger lads with potential like McTominay and Pereira, do they just fade because they haven't got good players around them to nurture them? If they had a Pogba with them, would they be putting in a better performance? But tonight, against good players, they pretty much just look bang average, don't they? You know, there's lots of effort and desire, but they're not having good games. Big Maguire says, in your opinion, Mark, with the team we have, plus Maguire, where do you think we will finish? I'm not that confident at the moment we'll make top four. No, not at the moment. No, I'd agree. Not a top four football club for me at the moment. I think we'll concede less goals. And we'll definitely be a threat in the air with Maguire, but I don't see a massive improvement in the attacking side of things. Worried for next week. If this is anything to go by, we will have a strong defence, but that midfield. And if Matic starts next week, which he will, then we're in trouble, says Anaban Bachai. Alan Price says, will Pogba leave? Well, I'd leave if I was watching this game. United into the box with Rashford. Overruns it. Final ball. Shit again. Come on, United, give us something to cheer about, please. It's all a bit side-to-side crab football, isn't it, on the final third again? Here's Pereira into Mata. Well, it's a lovely ball to Shaw, who nods it back to Rashford, and Matic can't really do a lot with that, to be fair. And we've won it back, and there's another foul there. I don't know who that's on, but they've hurt themselves. Look to me, Marcus Rojo. Oh, it's all right. He'll be all right. He'll get up. I thought it was Rashford for a minute. I don't know why. Get Fredwin Greenwood on. And I'd get Daniel James on as well. Bit of speed. Oh, it's a free kick from 30 yards out. You know who's going to hit this. Actually, I think it might be 40 yards out, so I don't think he will. Alisson or De Gea, who's better currently, says Ginny Houdini. I mean, Alisson's the better goalkeeper at the moment. I think De Gea's the better goalkeeper, but De Gea had a bad season last year. So if you're talking about form, you'd have to say... I mean, Lindelof's just flicked a header towards Donnarumma, but it was from the edge of the box. Donnarumma held on to it quite comfortably. Alisson's the better goalkeeper on form. I think De Gea's the better goalkeeper. Distribution-wise, Alisson's brilliant, but I think De Gea's the better goalkeeper. But at the moment, Alisson on form. If I was Dybala, I'd rather be on Juve's bench than come play for this as Alligator. Well, that is the concern, isn't it? That is the concern. It's pre-season chill, says Phil, 6688. It is pre-season, Phil, 668. And if you want to chill. But whether it's pre-season or not, it's still AC Milan midfield dominating our midfield, isn't it? And we haven't got anybody missing apart from Pogba. This could be a chance. Oh, Pereira shoots wide. He's got to be doing better there. Nice little link-up play between Rashford and Mata. Gets it to Pereira and he shoots wide. I don't know whether he has... It's Martial actually who lays it off. Good play from United for once. Martin Tosovsky says, are you not worried that Lindelof and Maguire won't have enough pace to deal with fast attackers? Only if we're going to get caught on the break, and I don't think United are going to get caught on the break that much, to be honest. Good tackle that by Luke Shaw. Got the wrong side of the striker, but recovery, tackle and pace was superb. Well done, Luke Shaw. Haters going to hate. I got a tweet. Oh, it's a goal. It's a goal for... I won't be tweeting about Luke Shaw. Let's see what happens here. It's 2-1 to AC Milan. And it's Manchester United losing. Yet to see one of our players calling anyone out on their pitch for their behaviour, says Mini Mourner. We lack leaders. But this was always going to come because AC Milan have been the better team. Skets past Martial. Cross comes in. That's why you need a dominant header of the ball. Somebody's got to win that header there. 3 United players. I think Maguire... Sorry, not Maguire. That's why we need Maguire. McTominay, Rojo and Lindelof. Someone's got to win the header. Someone's got to win the header there. Poor defending. That is why we need Harry Maguire. Simple as that. Three United players there. And United are 2-1 down. And you've got to say it would be deserved. You've got to say it would be deserved for AC Milan. They've been the better team. Ollie hasn't made changes at half-time. And this is why he should have changed it at half-time. There's just not been any real reaction from Manchester United. And it's been very easy. Why Ollie... very easy for AC Milan just to keep ticking along. Because the better team has remained the better team. Anyway, I need to change the scoreline. Oscar Anderson then says, same old United players get the chance to prove that they should start against Chelsea. But they don't care. I think it might have been an own goal. But you've got to go and put your forehead on that. If it flicks off Lindelof and it's an own goal, it's an own goal. But that ball is at a height where you just go and get your forehead on it. Good cross there from Wan-Bissaka. I mean, he's never going to find Juan Mata on the back post, which is why we shouldn't be playing Juan Mata. Let's see if we can change the score here. Two, three, one, 2, 1, 2, 1. Milan are on the attack. Leo Wings is right. I mean, Rojo, McTominay or Lindelof have got to go and put their forehead on that. And then it's not even a great cross. Martial can probably close the cross down a little bit better. But, sometimes people do get crosses in. As a defender, you've got to go and win that header and put your head on the ball. Vidic was the best in the world at it. I think Maguire will give us that as well. But it's just constant with United. So AC Milan are about to make three substitutions here. One of which is going to be their goalkeeper. So hopefully we'll see some changes from United because we're 62 minutes in now. I don't know whether I'm the only one here who's just absolutely baffled as to why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not made any substitutions yet when his team has played shit. I understand keeping a team on that's doing well, but we ain't doing well. We're actually playing very, very badly. So I'm a little bit confused, as I'm sure many of you are, as to why we've not made any substitutions in this game. It's baffling. I'm sure he will do. I'm sure he will do. But at the moment, we're not seeing any. And it's AC Milan who make the first changes. Come on, Ollie, get some bloody subs on. I mean, we're not learning anything from this game. I think he might be making some stuff. Yeah, Mata's off. Good. James is coming on. Fred's coming on. Matic is coming off. Twansibi, Lingard. Yeah, he's changing most of the team, which I think's stupid, to be honest. You're not going to be able to do that next week, Ollie. So, what are you... You're giving people fitness, but, how about reacting to losing a game by making 3 substitutions and making those substitutions decisive? So Daniel James comes on. I think we'll see a different United now. I'm excited because we haven't got bloody Fred, we haven't got bloody Matic on the team, have we? So McTominay has stayed on, which shows you his importance to the team. Young's on. You are the weakest link. Piss off. So Young's playing at right back. Wan-Bissaka's gone off. Twansibi's on. McTominay and Fred are the midfield. Daniel James on the right. Rashford's still on. Lingard's on. So I think Daniel James is on for Pereira. Lingard's on for Mata. Twansibi's on for Rojo. Fred's on for Matic and Young's on for Wan-Bissaka, from what I can tell. And I've still not changed the score, and I'm getting pelters for that. Ooh, good cross in again. Oh, this is getting on my bloody nerves now. Come on, United. Find us something to get excited about. There we go. So it's 2-1 to AC Milan. We've got 25 minutes to go in the game. We've had the substitutions that we wanted to see. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're getting close to 521,000 subscribers. We've got some super chats coming in here. Pumpkin Spice Latte. What if Ollie had Pogba sit out of the game in last ditch attempt to convince the board for a centre midfielder? I think we'd like to see those things happen, those scenarios, but I don't think they do. Knuckle Shuckley says, Mark, if we sign Bruno, what would be your starting midfield? Mine would be McTominay, Pogba and Bruno. Maybe not enough discipline, but this is atrocious. I agree. Manchester United midfield is a myth without Pogba in it, says Mike Hawksmall. And Ali Ashgar, thanks for the contribution. Shreshet says that Ollie's got no plan, just his cute looks. Broadmons wanted Greenwood on. I think he's got to keep Rashford and Martial on though, hasn't he? Because they've got to find some form. It's you know, that's sort of the situation, isn't it? Just taking some notes for the match reaction while I think about it. Basically just writing Matic is shit, Matic is shit, Matic is shit. Martial is done at United, says Rich. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. I think you're right in the sense that he's got to have a big season, but you know, it's one thing to say Matic is done in his early 30s. You can't say Martial's done in his early 20s. He's still a good player. Xavier Daniels says he can see Chelsea battering us. If Chelsea come in with a better organised team, and let's not forget they've got Kante, they've got good players, then they're a tough opposition for us to play. United are going to have to go through the gears, big time next week. But because we're not losing a game unluckily, we're losing because we deserve to lose, and you know that's the scenario that we're up against. I mean, hopefully we'll see a better United team now. That's goodbye McTominay, goodbye Fred, getting the ball out quick. And you do see a totally different United side. It's Martial to Lingard. to Young. Crap cross. Oh, I thought he'd scored. You know, for a moment there, the cross looked crap, and it came to Luke Shaw on the edge on the bounce, who just came into picture and smashed it. And he caught it well, and you're thinking it's going to go into the back of the net, and I'd be interested to see how close it goes. It goes wide on the near post, but yeah, good effort. Good effort, young man. Thank you. Fred is pathetic, says Sunil Power. He's only just come on. Give him some time. Well, McTominay's been so much better since Matic went off. There's Daniel James, direct. Lovely play. Absolutely. United have been so much better since they've gone off. I feel a bit sorry for. I mean, McTominay has been much better since Matic went off because he's took more responsibility. He's quicker. I do feel sorry for Pereira because I like Pereira and I think he was just sold a bad game today by being put in a position he doesn't play. Ali Ashgar says we need a DM to support our defence. We might have a goal here. We got a goal! Jesse Lingard! There we go. We've been waiting for that all pre-season. The little dance, whatever he does. And United are back level. Get in there. And we need that from Lingard. He's had a lot of stick. Justified. Get in there, Jesse. And he took it well. Martial with the assist. That's what I was looking for there. Good assist by Martial. But he takes it well. It's 2-2. And that's... we need that from Lingard. I mean, and that's exactly what I've been saying about Lingard for years and years and years. The impact player in the last 20 minutes because he is explosive. I don't think he's a starter for Manchester United, but I think in the last 20 minutes, last half an hour, he can come off the bench and he can give us something. And he certainly has done it there. He's had such a bad year. I think since January, I think he's had a bad year. I expected in pre-season. I expected him to do a little bit more. He didn't. But that is a well-timed goal, not just in the context of this game, but in the context of Jesse Lingard's Manchester United career. He needs to start doing a little bit more. And very, very good goal. Manchester United 2-2. And a different United team since we made the changes. Daniel Brinley, the game is like the end of last season. Great promise at the start of Ollie's reign, and then players take the foot off the gas. But I think the foot is on the gas now because United have lost that slow pace. Beans. I should have done that. So 2-2. And I can see United going on and winning this now. I can. Mick Warren says we're in serious trouble if we don't get those signings. Well, the trouble is if we go on and win this game now, it's paper in the cracks, isn't it? But the midfield was atrocious. And do you think he's going to pick Fred ahead of Matic? Because I don't. So you've got to go and buy. Forest are losing, apparently. Why play Matic and Mata ever? No, I agree. Frank Ackland says you've got to start with pace against Chelsea. Yeah, if we start with Matic and Mata next week, I'll be terrified. You just can't do it. Ashley Young took the dive. That'll be a free kick. This is the magic juice. As soon as I started having a drink, United started playing better as well. It's nothing down to Ollie. It's to do with me. Marjan Bjerkic says, I hope Manchester United and AC Milan will be big again. To be honest, our paths have been quite similar, haven't we? Been off the radar for a number of years now. Jermaine Foster says dreadful Shaw. Why has Luke Shaw had a bad game? Nothing to do with either of the goals we conceded. Made a really, really good tackle in this half. I think he's been okay, Luke Shaw. Ashley Young. Well, it could have been 3-2 there, and we would have all been saying Ashley Young. Oh, it's a free kick to United there. We don't want to be giving free kicks away to... Oh, and Scott McTominay's shirt's been ripped. Ain't happy about it. They've ripped his shirt. Took it in, Matt Scott. It looks messy. Why Young over Delo? Says Ash Smoke. Because he doesn't really go for youth, does he? But then again, Twan Seaby over Smalling or Jones. Maldini coming on for AC Milan. I presume this is Paolo Maldini's son, because there's a lot of camera footage of him at the moment. So if he can be half the player his dad was, he'd be a very good player. Dervo Mudrosti says the game alone proves without Pogba we are confused. Hate him or love him, we need Pogba in this team next season just to keep our head above water. I would agree. I'm actually just going to put a tweet out about McTominay. So a number of substitutions just taking place. I actually just had a message from John O'Kane, who used to be a youth player at Manchester United, and he said that watching Rashford forget his goal, his all-round play is abysmal, decision-making is like a 10-year-old. Don't mind you using that in the show. Fair or not fair? I mean, look, it's all about opinion, isn't it? I don't think Rashford's actually had a very good game, but here he is in the box. He might shut you up. No, first touch not good enough. $600, $700, you can have a shout out. You've just had one. Fred over Matic as Harry Smith. I mean, look, I don't think Fred... I think signings over Matic is what we needed, isn't it? It's not about saying, oh, Fred over Matic. It was signings that we needed to do. And still do need to do. If I'm totally honest. Still 2-2. I mean, McTominay's almost playing like a quarterback now. He's coming very deep. Angled run. See, I think if Martial's braver there, he gets that. Keeper off his line. I think Martial should have got that, but some would say lazy. A lot of people agreeing with the Rashford comment, saying he's spot on, Carmichael. Curtis Bissett says, why is all the hate for Rashford? He's got a good goal and he's not been the worst on the pitch. Brian Murphy says, what's the latest on Bruno? He'll be playing for Sporting Lisbon tomorrow. Keep your eyes on the show on Monday. We've got fan cams coming up tonight as well, so keep your eye out for those. And we've got a really good vlog Flex has had a press access today, so there'll be some good stuff there. Ali Ashgar, we need a DM to support our defence. Matic, Fred are not good enough. AC Milan in the attack here. Not good enough. Ollie, why select players who are not good enough? Buy a cheap DM, please. Lingard, Rojo are waste. And, yeah, I've already answered that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're very close to 521,000 subscribers, so get subscribing if you're new. Get involved in the channel. Live every night at 8 o'clock. Fan cams every game. We're live from an hour before all the way through till full time. Then the match reaction, transfer shows, the lot, call-ins on a Monday. And remember, I'll be giving out the ticket details for our get-together in London on Thursday night if you want to come down to our live show, our first ever get-together show. I'll be giving you that in the match reaction, which will follow this game. We will finish higher than you, Guna Zain, says Zain Mayasi. Gomez and Greenwood are going to come on for 10 minutes. So, yeah, Martial comes off. And I would imagine Rashford will come off as well. Be surprised if he doesn't. Yeah. Martial and Rashford off. Greenwood and Gomez on. I hope one of them go and get a winner now. Because we need to end this pre-season tour with a bit of positivity. Still lots and lots of question marks, I think. Lots and lots of question marks about this team. And again, we still don't know like who's going to come in, do we? Here's Gomez. He wants to dribble. He'll be offside there, Greenwood. Yeah. Angled the wrong. About 10 minutes to go in this game. I presume we'll get a penalty shootout as well. Yeah, because you can't have draws in the ICC, so we're going to get penalty shootouts, aren't we? Unless we get a winner, which we winner chicken dinner. We could still get one. Gomez, late off, shoot. Oh, good keeping of the play there by United. And what? Oh, that's a lovely ball by McTominay. Young, you got to put that in quick, mate. Don't think that was a foul. I didn't think it was a foul, and it wasn't. I think what I would say is that Manchester United, AC Milan, if they had attacking, they don't have any pace in their front three, do they? They don't have any real flair in their front three, and I think if they did, they would have, they could have put this game to bed, because technically, I think defensively in the midfield, the way they've moved the ball about, they've been better than us, but they just don't really have anything up front, which is why I think AC Milan will continue to struggle. So I do. Bite it, don't fight it. But United on the attack here. Trying to get a winner. Do we want penalties or do we want another winner? Gomez into the box. He's been lively since he came on. Oh, some of the skills there. I mean, I'm going to have to tweet this. In 60 seconds, he has done more than Mata did in the whole game. It's just ridiculous that, you know. Oh, it should have been a goal. Greenwood with the miss. And again, I mean, he always looks very apologetic, Mason Greenwood. You don't need to look so apologetic, Mason. You're a fantastic player. Luke Shaw drives forward, feeds it into Angel Gomez. Lovely little cross. Mason Greenwood should score. I don't know whether Gomez was actually offside anyway. But good play. And just the contrast in United since we've took Mata and Matic off. And look, Milan are a weaker team. I'd agree with that. But it's amazing. It's amazing. So it is. AC Milan are on the attack now, though. They're trying to win it now. Everybody's tried to win it. But I think we might see a penalty shootout. Anyway, let's have a look at what people say in the live comments. Mason Greenwood running into the box. Into James. Shoots wide. And that'll be in the keeper's arms. The badge man's right. The last few minutes is how United should play every game. Jin Amara Singh says Gomez looks so skillful, so much talent. You know what? I think I know. As I said, AC Milan have made a lot of subs, and so have we. But actually, it's been a game so bereft of excitement and consistent talent. I'd be tempted to say Angel Gomez man of the match. I'm struggling to think because I always put a tweet out about now for man of the match, and I'm struggling to think of somebody who would be my 4 candidates for man of the match. I think McTominay looked bang average until Matic came on, and then since that Matic came off, since that he's been very, very good. Gomez again. I mean, that's a bit of a poor pass. That's good by Lingard. Young. James. Oh, the winner's there if we want it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Greenwood. Fred. Shaw. Poor. Mark, you should have gone for Pochettino, says Zayn Massey. Jay Hughes, we look more cohesive up front with Gomez and Greenwood on the pitch. Better than our first choice players. Exactly. Biggie third. It doesn't matter who we buy. If we don't get the manager right, it will all be a waste. Solskjaer is out of his depth at this level. Interesting. Interesting thought there. So it is. Lingard. Oh, I thought he was going to make it. Well, my four candidates for man of the match are going to be Wan-Bissaka, because I thought he was brilliant first half. Scott McTominay, Angel Gomez, and it's hard to think of a third. It really is hard to think of a third. You wouldn't go De Gea, you wouldn't go Rojo, you wouldn't go Lindelof. None of the front three were good. Pereira wasn't good. Matic was shit. I think you've got to go... Do you go one of the goal scorers? Or do you go Lindelof? I think I'd probably go Lindelof. Let's see how it does anyway, because people might say, you're talking rubbish. You can't say it's not Lindelof. You can't say it's not Rashford. We are going to win this season, mark my words, and Fellaini will come back and be top scorer in the league because he's the GOAT, says Red Devil. Some people are saying Lingard. What, for a goal? Anyway, United on the attack here with Daniel James. He held on to that for too long, but he's got a free kick. He didn't hold on for it too long. We got a yellow card here. We got a yellow card for Manchester United, and it's a good position, right central. Have we got a player on the pitch who can take a free kick here? Well, we haven't got Marcus Rashford on the pitch, which many would say is a positive. So right on the edge of the box, I would say Lingard or maybe Angel Gomez from here. We have, you know, Mata actually would have some use from this. You know, can we just bring him on as like they do in American football? But I just want to say while I can as well, thanks everyone for joining me on the watch along. Really, really enjoyed it. There will be a match reaction straight after this. The link is in the video description, and we'll give you details on where you can get your tickets for the get together on Thursday night. But just waiting for this free kick. It's going to be Fred. Can you stake a name for yourself, Mr. Fred? All he's got to do is get it on target. Ah, over the bar. It were a chance there. It was a chance for Fred. And to be honest with you, mate, you blew it. You blew your chance, Fred. You've got to be hitting the target from there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fred. I've got no sympathy for you. You've got to hit the target. And if you don't, you get ridiculed. As simple as that. We have... Surely we're looking at a penalty shootout now. We're still playing it on. Ashley Young takes a tumble. Ref's not blowing up yet. He's enjoying himself too much. He's not going to blow. And that will be that. And we will have a penalty shootout. Oh no, we're still going on. I was looking at something else there. We're still going on. I think United have been such a better team since they made all those substitutions though. So we won't have Phil Jones taking a penalty, which I think is always a shame in a game like this. But we have got the final whistle there, so we will see a penalty shootout, which is always an exciting thing, I believe. Does it really matter? Probably not, but it gives you gives us a little bit of excitement, doesn't it? You know, you've always got to have a bit of excitement in your life, and yeah, I'm all for it. Oh, shut up. So, penalty shootout to come. Are you excited about it? Well, let's tell you what the polls are going at the moment on Twitter for Man of the Match. This will be interesting. So, we got Man of the Match poll. And some people are saying Matic. Wan-Bissaka's got 46% of the vote. McTominay and Gomez 23% of the vote. Lindelof 8% of the vote. So again, it's looking like Wan-Bissaka has put in that sort of brilliant performance again that is becoming very, very consistent. So they've all disappeared here. I presume we are having penalties. I don't want to pretend that we're having penalties when we're not, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have penalties here. Tell me if I'm wrong. It has been known. Fred, Crap, Pepe. Are we having penalties here? Are we having penalties, or am I just making this up? Because there's nobody even on the pitch. Yes, it's penos. Thank you for that, Michael Duffy. Big shout out for Michael Duffy, because I didn't know whether we were doing it or not. It's amazing how you can see right through my heart. Without saying the word, you can light up the dark. Light up the dark. I don't know why I'm singing bloody Ronan Keating for you. We're waiting for penalties here anyway, everybody. Manchester United have drawn 2-2 with AC Milan. Need signings desperately. Because we're just not good enough. We're just got no... I mean, look, at the end of the day, if we lose Paul Pogba, we are right up a paddle with a creek that's full of crap. We've got to sign players this next week. So a little bit of Monica, a little bit of positive, a little bit of excitement, I would say, at the end of this game. I've had a contribution. Can you explain for those who do not know why we don't call United Man U? Says Xtol86. And welcome to Josh Waring. Look, I'm not going to go into it massively, but it was a derogatory term from the 60s that had connotations about the Munich disaster, and Manchester United fans don't like the term. So I think there was a song or something in the 60s, if I remember correctly. But a lot of people don't understand that, and they say it in a way that, you know, they're not saying it in a bad way. They're not aware of it being an offensive song, if that makes sense. Right, so we've got penalties coming up. De Gea is hugging Reina, obviously formerly of Liverpool. So, penalties. Liverpool would support AC Milan anyway. Of course they would. They're not going to support us. I wouldn't support them. I'd support a dog shit over if it was playing Liverpool. That's just the way it is. But obviously it gives it a little bit of more interest because he's an ex-Liverpool goalkeeper. He's also Spanish, which is the same as David De Gea. So there you go. It's going to be Manchester United versus AC Milan in a penalty shootout. Funnily enough, we've got people waiting on the match reaction stream, which is already open because the link is in the video description. But we're actually still live here talking about it. So you could just be watching it here. So let's have a look who's going to come up first for Manchester United and AC Milan. De Gea, to me, I don't know what you lot think about this. De Gea, to me, never been that good a penalty keeper. I mean, he has made some saves for us in the past, but you know, penalties, I never have amazing confidence with David De Gea on penalties, but AC Milan are going to go first. I don't know who it is stepping up because I don't really follow AC Milan that well. So, here he comes. He shoots, he scores. Sent him the wrong way. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're getting really close to 521,000, and that's what Draughty Devils just said as well. So bottom right hand corner, subscribe to the channel if you're new. United Stand community is amazing. And also we've got our first ever get together on Thursday night. If you come over to the match reaction after this, I'll give you the link where you can get your tickets Thursday night. Jesse Lingard steps up and he scores. It's a good penalty by Jesse Lingard. Hits it low and hard. Reina goes the right way. Good penalty. give him some credit. It was a good penalty from Jesse Lingard, and it is 1-1 in the penalty shootout. Yabba dabba doo. I mean, look, this is a pre-season friendly. If this was a penalty shootout in the FA Cup or the Champions League, which we're not in, that would be a miracle, or the Europa League, I would be very excited. I'll probably treat this the same as the Carabao Cup, to be honest, pre-season, because it means nothing. But here we go. AC Milan penalty number 2 against David De Gea. Steps up, sends him the wrong way. 2-1 to AC Milan. The thing is, they're all sat there with a smile on their face, and it doesn't mean the same as a European knockout game, but you still don't want to lose a penalty shootout. So it's Reina against De Gea. It's Liverpool against United. Let's make it a little bit more exciting. If we lose this, it's like losing to Liverpool because Pepe Reina's their goalkeeper. So who's coming up number 2 for Manchester United? It's Ashley Young. Don't do it in your bloody turquoise boots. Don't you miss it. Ashley Young, it can't be one of those moments. He scores straight down the middle. He doesn't want me memeing him. He puts it away. It could have been one of those pink boot moments, but with the turquoise boots, he smacks it straight down the middle. All the confidence of a blind man. But it ended up in the goal. And it's 2-2 penalties each. AC Milan step up again. De Gea is crap at penalties, says Up the Mount 698. Remember, we got the match reaction straight after this. Link in the video description. Make sure you subscribe, and if you're a new viewer whilst watching this, bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get to 521,000 subscribers today. AC Milan coming up with their 3rd penalty, and he does one of those runs up and then just taps it into the bottom corner. AC Milan, technically, I think they were better than Manchester United for most of the game, and technically their penalties have been better than ours as well, but we haven't missed yet. It's 3-2, and De Gea's got nowhere near any of them so far. Bruno Fernandes steps up to take the next one. We wish. He doesn't really. Oh, Mason Greenwood. I mean, you've got to admire his he scores. Good. I was nervous there because you don't want kids like that missing that. I know it doesn't mean anything, but it might mean something to a youngster in front of a very big crowd. And he scored. So very, very pleased with him for that. 3 out of 3. Greenwood gets his. And you can see he is blowing. Like, as he walks away, he's very pleased that he scored it. And it would have impacted him a little bit. It's all about building the confidence with the youth. So Greenwood scores 3-3. No one's missed from either side yet. 3 each. Manchester United, AC Milan. Here's AC Milan's 4th penalty coming up. He steps up and... he's not. De Gea did get a hand on it, but it's gone in. It's gone in. De Gea's like Peter Shilton. Good goalkeeper, shit at penalties. And if anyone remembers Peter Shilton, you probably don't. He was in goal for England in the 1990 World Cup. We could still be taking penalties. Germany could still be taking penalties 29 years later, and he still wouldn't get it. But he was a good goalkeeper, but he was just crap at penalties. So, who will step up next for Manchester United? I think it's Angel Gomez, another one of the youngsters. So, I hope he scores. And he does! That was a good one. Pure class. In a glass. Angel Gomez. Brilliant. High. Yes, brilliant. Absolute techers from the kid. So, I'm pleased those two have scored. I think, who was taking United's last penalty then? I think McTominay might just... he's shown a lot of leadership. Phil Jones sat there thinking, I'm just glad I'm not taking one. Lovely, lovely penalty by Angel Gomez there. So, here we go. With the 5th penalty for AC Milan. And he's missed it! He's missed it! Crap penalty! And it was their striker. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. De Gea missed... oh, it wasn't their striker. I think it was Maldini, wasn't it? Maldini! Oh... that's not out. Number 98. It's Maldini's son who's missed it. Oh, you don't want to do that. De Gea saved it. I feel for the lad. I thought it was the striker from the first half, but it wasn't. It was Maldini's kid. He's missed it. I feel a bit bad now. Daniel James, a moment in the sun. In Cardiff, you are Welsh. Put it in the back of the net, boyo. He's done it, boyo. He's done it. It's Welsh. It's Daniel James in Cardiff. That'll be for his dad. Lovely stuff. Lovely moment for him. Obviously lost his father just before signing for Manchester United. He is Welsh. We are playing in Wales. It's the winning penalty. It doesn't mean anything, but it does because that's a special moment for him. Really made up for him. Lovely stuff. Manchester United win on penalties, and it's Daniel James with the winning penalty. Nice moment. Nice moment for the kid. And to be honest with you, Daniel James, Angel Gomez, Mason Greenwood, those penalties, it's a pre-season game. It doesn't mean anything, but it means a lot to them in their development, and it's positivity, isn't it? It's positive vibes for those players. So, yeah, Manchester United win on penalties. Manchester United beat Liverpool because Reina was in goal. I bet Liverpool fans, if Reina had saved them, they'd have been all over it. So you can be all over this. We did beat you. But in all seriousness, that concludes the pre-season tour for Manchester United. A mixed bag. We need to get into the transfer window, but I'll talk about that in the match reaction. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Match reaction is going to be instantaneously after this. 60 seconds and I'm going to be live. Link in the video description. We'll talk about crap Matic, crap Mata. We'll also talk about how United's season might look. Transfers is going to figure. Paul Pogba's going to figure. It's going to be a big show. Link in the video description. I will see you over there in about 60 seconds. It's going to be a good one. We've won the penalty shootout. I think we won the ICC tournament, didn't we, as well? Which is ridiculous because it means absolutely nothing. I'd rather win a bog roll. But there you go. I'll see you on the match reaction in a moment. And if you've not subscribed before you join me over there, please do subscribe. We're getting very close to 521,000 subscribers. See you on the match reaction in a moment. Link in the video description.